Hello, all guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the newest episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast, brought to you on YouTube, on Spotify, on Google, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Austin. I'm a knockout. I've watched a lot of wrestling.
I'm David. I'm a noob, haven't watched nearly as much wrestling, and I find myself chained to my seat. I woke up in a dark room, and then a light clicked on, and there was Austin staring down at me, and I was chained to my seat, and he
Yes,
said, "You're gonna learn today."
yes, David.
So
Are you ready to decay?
no,
Decay,
I'm
decay.
gaga.
Yeah, this is welcome to Austin's self-indulgent episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast.
Back on his bullshit TM.
I am, because this, if you're watching the video version of the podcast on YouTube, which you should,
Always.
you will see that I am wearing a Rosemary shirt because
And
this
I'm wearing a
episode,
general creepy skull shirt.
yeah, this episode is all about we're doing a showcase for Rosemary today.
Austin's been on a bit of a kick recently. I've noticed. So kick us off, my friend. What is it that made you decide that this was gonna happen? What is the impetus for us coming to this
Sure. Well,
episode?
it all started about a month ago with
Uh,
when I went to Against All Odds. I talked about
mm,
it a little bit. If you sat through to the end of our podcasts when we do
oh
the
boy,
plugs and Twitter shit, I talked
Herculean
about.
effort.
It's true. I don't even listen to that part. Um, but if I talked about how I went to Impact Against All Odds because it was a show happening in Columbus.
Mm,
David is a purely AEW household. He keeps up, casually with the rest of the wrestling world in the way you do
yeah,
when you're
I
active.
keep tabs. Once in a while, I'll
When
go
you're
see GC Dub if they're in Detroit.
right, when you're active on wrestling social media, the kind of things you just pick up happening.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
For me, I love AEW, but Impact is my shit.
It's
On the
it's
week
very
to
much
week
where you're at.
basis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was super excited to go to the show. And my all one I guess I need to circle back a little bit to say that, like, if there's one gimmick in wrestling that, like, gets me going, that I will
Mm,
almost certainly give at least some degree of time to, it's
mm.
weird, supernatural, spoopy shit.
Oh,
Um,
fuck yeah.
I don't know what it is because I hate horror. As I hate
Huh.
the horror genre. Not a fan at all. I don't watch horror movies or anything like that.
I
I don't
feel.
really know, like, what it is, why, but, like, the Undertaker was my OG favorite wrestler, and still I would put him pretty high up on an all time list here.
Hey, no,
You
he's not that
know,
bad.
I loved Bray Wyatt as this
Mm.
until honestly he lost me with his most recent comeback. It was when I was like, okay, I feel like you're getting even a little too lost in the sauce for me. Um,
Thanks a lot.
yeah. I love the House of Black
Yeah.
on AEW.
We do love some House of Black.
It's been a long time since they've been on TV, but the Living Dead girl Abaddon on AEW, big
Oh, we
fan
miss
of
Abaddon.
zombies. We do. Um, and but on Impact has since 2016 been my crown jewel of favorite spooky gimmicks,
Hmm.
Rosemary.
Yes.
And so, to tie on back to me going to Against All Odds, now I understood that as of about 2 months ago, they started running an angle where Rosemary went back to her non-demon persona, Courtney Rush. And
Hmm.
I accepted that, was excited to see her anyway. They did a meet and greet
Yes.
before the TV tapings for after Against All Odds. But her and her tag partner Havoc, aka the Death Dolls, didn't wrestle at all. They didn't appear on the show at all. They just did the meet and greet, and that was it. And that made me sad. And so I was like, guess what? On the podcast, when we are going to soon do an episode all about Rosemary.
And
So
so he decided to take it out on me.
I don't think what take it out on you implies that you're not going to enjoy it at all.
Abusive relationship. I feel coerced. I feel mistreated. I demand my rights and my autonomy.
That's interesting. Denied.
we we hear your pleas and we say fuck you.
After careful consideration, nothing is changing.
Wait a minute. Shit, I tried. See, this is what I go through, people. Terrible communication skills. God damn it. Somebody help me.
Anyway, so time to give a little character backstory on Rosemary. So before she was Rosemary, she actually had Courtney Rush. Actually had a pretty promising, a pretty decent career on the indies as Courtney Rush. Not necessarily like top indie women's wrestler, but pretty high up there. Well, a well-known name. She won titles pretty much anywhere she worked on the indies.
Ooh.
I don't know a ton about her character or anything in the time. It's tough. It's not always easy to find 2000s indies information.
Sure.
But she signed to Impact in January of 2016, and they completely repackaged her as the demon assassin Rosemary.
Okay. Wait, so she came in as Rosemary?
Yes. I think she might have worked a couple of one-off appearances before as like Courtney Rush, but she never had any sort of major on-screen presence as that under that name. Like she came in straight in as Rosemary. And Rosemary was the manager, valet, main speaker person for Decay, consisting of Crazy Steve, who had also not really had much of a feature on Impact before this point, and the Monster Abyss, who is one of TNA's longest running loyalist soldiers at this point.
Yeah, wait. Wasn't Abyss on the fucking Christmas episode we watched?
Yeah. He was in the monster hardcore fight with
Black Rain hardcore enough.
Black Rain and Relic.
Yes.
He was the one who took a lot of the bumps because he's
able to.
Yeah. But this was a big career. This is kind of a big career revival for Abyss because TNA, because Abyss was an ultimate company man, always willing to kind of go along with anything, also wasn't well protected as like a monster that should be that is threatening on Impact.
That's stupid.
I mean, the absolute bottom tier pits of it was when Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff came in. And oh boy, did they kill his character?
Well, yeah, well,
they made him a simpering little bitch who worshipped Hulk Hogan, and like Hulk Hogan gifted him his WWE Hall of Fame ring as like the feather that helps Dumbo fly.
Oh my god. Oh, that's depressing and deeply maddening.
It is. Now, sometimes the comedy was fun, like in 2012-ish, they did a gimmick where his brother, Joseph Parks, who was a mild-mannered, meek attorney figure in the company, would show up. But then anytime he saw blood, something switched and he became Abyss again. And he didn't even seem to recognize his own split personality.
That's cute.
But in general, the Abyss had lost a lot of steam by 2016, and Decay was a big revival point for him.
Well, that's nice.
But basically, these were just like kind of crazy people. They spoke of being the cockroaches of the world and of darkness and decay, and they wished to bring everyone else, bring that decay to everyone else. The thing about Decay is that their run actually is really, really short.
Really?
Yeah, so they come in January. In like April, they win the tag titles, and they have about a 6-month run with the tag titles. Their biggest storyline is with the Hardys, which I will get to them later. But they do a whole bit with the Hardys of like trying to kidnap Maxwell, Matt's son Maxwell, and like brainwash him. And they do a bunch of cinematic crazy bullshit. But eventually the Hardys win the titles off of them. And after that, Decay just become jobbers. They just lose and lose and lose and lose.
Damn it!
Yeah, and then Crazy Steve quits in April of 2017, and the team
Don't
is
blame him.
over. And then they come back in 2021 with Crazy Steve and Black Taurus, who is a luchador whose gimmick is a bull.
Just a bull.
He's just
Not
a
even a
bull
bull
dude.
man, just a bull.
I mean, he doesn't talk, so you can assume he's also just a bull.
Ah, I see. The Luchasaurus type.
Yes. But they get back together with Rosemary, and they have an okay run at this point. And then in what both times Decay starts falling apart is when Rosemary starts breaking off to do her own thing in the Knockouts division. When it's just Decay, job.
So basically, Rosemary's treated like a really marketable star, and her cohorts are not.
Not so, no.
Oh,
In
no.
fact, I saw Decay at Against All Odds TV tapings, and that was really cool to get to see their entrance and their song and all that. But they jobbed in 3 minutes to the tag champs.
Nah. Who were the tag champs at that point?
Chris Bay and Ace Austin, ABC of the Bullet Club. So
nice.
So Rosemary, her character technically has 2 different origin stories, because obviously there's the Impact version, but also she tied in her ongoing indie storylines to Rosemary.
Wait, would she like still go work indies as
Courtney
Rush?
Man. Yeah, well, she started working. Well, she started working indies as Rosemary, not Courtney Rush.
Interesting.
But on Impact, she has this like weird cryptic promo that's about like this basically like young girl losing her innocence and implied trauma and all, and like creepy, unsettling implications, but nothing direct or specific about the origins of how Rosemary came to inhabit the body of this woman. Whereas on the indies, it's a lot more personal. Courtney Rush was in a long-running feud with Cherry Bomb, who you would probably know better as Allie the Bunny.
Oh shit!
And Cherry Bomb was a vicious heel. And
classic mistake getting into any kind of feud with the Bunny, because she will just kill you.
Yeah, so the storyline they ran on the indies is that Cherry Bomb beat down Courtney Rush so bad that Courtney Rush, in a moment of weakness, made a deal with a demon in order to get stronger and fight back against Cherry Bomb. And they start doing a lot of like horror movie monster shit where she like stalks and hunts Cherry Bomb, and Cherry Bomb becomes the Slayer, and yes, she does come out to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer theme song.
God!
And is like determined to slay the demon.
Oh, so now I see why you love Bunny so much.
Bunny is also Cherry Bomb. Bunny is also fantastic.
Yes.
Rosemary and Allie will actually become best of friends on Impact, but that is for later.
Another time, yes.
Yeah. So on Impact, now that we got a basic kind of career trajectory of Rosemary, who she is, how she got to here, where are we doing now? Is on this episode in the main event is a 6 sides of steel match for the vacant Knockouts Championship. Jade, who you would know better as Mia Yim, and Rosemary for the Knockouts title in a cage.
Wait, hold up. Uh, why is the Knockouts title vacant?
Okay, now I shall get to that part. Is
Oh, okay.
basically at Bound for Glory, Gail Kim was inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. It's a thing that TNA has. It's only like one person a year. They do it every year at around Bound for Glory season, if not at Bound for Glory itself. But they induct Gail Kim. She has a big, great ceremony. And that same night, she beats Maria Kanellis to become the Knockouts champion for a record-tying 6th time. Unfortunately, after a hardcore rematch with Maria, she had to vacate it due to a back injury. So the title is now vacated, and the story they're telling is that Jade is Gail's chosen one. Gail sees Jade as the future of this division. And when I look at you, I see a young Gail Kim. And Rosemary's like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna kill your chosen favorite, Gail.
What's is Rosemary like face heel? What's the alignment going on here? Because
She's Rosemary's heel. Decay are heel.
okay, because
Rosemary will
what?
turn babyface soon enough because she is popular and cool, but she is a heel.
Because I do remember like when last we were in TNA, Gail Kim was like the most over female in the entire company, aside from like maybe Awesome Kong.
Still true. Gail Kim is still the ultimate babyface of the TNA Knockouts, and so
Oh,
by default,
holy shit!
Jade is also a babyface. She hasn't been on TV a whole lot. There's not much to say about her character besides generic babyface, but that is the story that they're running. Is Rosemary wants to push back against this almost chosen one prophecy of like the belt's going to go from Gail Kim to Jade. She's like, no. I'm going to decay this whole fucking division is what I'm going to do.
I'll decay all over your fucking face, Jade.
Yeah. They did a run in like Rosemary and Decay beat down Gail Kim and Jade in an in-ring segment. Decay are basically just like cheerleaders for Rosemary right now. They're not winning matches or doing anything of importance, I'll tell you that.
Oof.
They are mostly losing in 6-man tags in the X division, and I will get to that when I talk more about what the X division's up to right now.
Oh boy.
But that's the main event of the show is Jade versus Rosemary for the Knockouts title. Other titles, the world title. Let's talk about the world title. I already know it doesn't have a super big importance on this show because they want to hype up all the other titles on the show. I believe every other title has a title match on this show.
Oh, shit.
But the world champion after Bound for Glory was Bobby Lashley.
Oh, hey!
Lashley is having a hell of a run in TNA as their dominant heel force of nature. At one point, he won all 3 singles male titles in the company at the same time.
Fuck?
Yeah, at one point, he was the Impact World title, the X Division champion, and the King of the Mountain champion all at once.
Oh god, I thought for a second you were saying knockout. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
I said that wrong.
Okay.
The 3 singles males championships.
Can
But
Lashley do flippy shit for X Division?
It's not about weight limits, David. It's about no limits. And so if Bobby Lashley wants to do X Division, there you go.
Well, no, I mean, I have no doubt with anyone of any size doing X Division stuff. I just, if you're gonna be X Division champ, you got to do a little bit flippity do,
Well, he quickly kind of vacated the X Division title and merged together the World and the King of the Mountain title, so he only has the one belt. But for a while there, he had all the belts. For about like a month. So he comes into Bound for Glory. He walks out as the champion. And so the next night on Impact, Billy Corgan, who is both kayfabe and in real life at this point, the president of Impact Wrestling, Billy Smashing Pumpkins, currently currently IRL president of NWA. That's going great.
Oh, hey, that piece of shit.
Yeah, this is back when everyone thought he was a brilliant booker who could really turn Impact around.
Oh no! And then he
Thankfully,
said, "I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to the NWA and make Tyrus my forever champion."
thankfully, nobody in TNA at this point in time regularly features on Fox News, so the booking isn't weird.
Yeah.
But he basically gives Bobby Lashley, because he's the champion, he's like, I want you to defend the belt tonight, but because you're such a dominant, great champion, I'll let you have a choice. And he can choose between Moose, EC3, and Eddie Edwards. And Bobby Lashley, thinking that Eddie Edwards will be the easy dub, picks Eddie Edwards. And then Eddie Edwards beats him for okay. I was gonna
There we go.
What?
There we go. So Eddie Edwards beats him for the title.
Yes, for the world title. And it's this big underdog champion moment. Now, Eddie Edwards, at this point, he had mostly been a tag team guy. He had been a tag team with Davey Richards as part of the American Wolves, big time tag team in Ring of Honor and the independent scene in the late 2000s, early 2010s. But he had never really broken out as a singles guy. His character is still kind of generic good guy. But they're running this angle of him being like the underdog story that could.
That's nice.
He gets a rematch with Bobby Lashley, and the story there is that Bobby Lashley, refusing to take Eddie Edwards seriously again, loses again. He tries to do some ref shenanigans, and they backfire on him, and Eddie beats him again.
Awesome.
It's also at this point in time that Eddie Edwards also beats Cody Rhodes in the title match. This is during the rare couple of months where Cody Rhodes is working Impact post WWE release.
Oh, I didn't realize that was only like a couple months long.
It was very short. He shows up at Bound for Glory in October. He is written off TV from a backstage attack from Bobby Lashley by the end of October. And then he pops back up on TV in February, and he leaves Impact in March. So
holy shit.
He quickly
wasn't he like healing it up for his time in Impact?
During February, he does a heel.
Oh. Okay, I see.
Right now he's the baby face, wrestling has more than one royal family.
Adrenaline in my soul, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing it's kind of a fascinating period of time. He will quickly realize he has better prospects in Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and thus will no longer be making time for Impact Wrestling. He's going to hook up with the Elite, and that's going to go a lot better for him, I think.
Yeah. The trajectory for I haven't heard all that much about that Cody guy in recent years, but from what I gather, he's doing all right.
Yeah. But Eddie is basically the fighting babyface champion, and he keeps on winning. And he does have a match set up with EC3 for next week, and I'll talk more about EC3 in a second. But yeah, that's the world champion scene right now. Gotcha. In the tag division, as I mentioned, the Hardy Boys are the tag team champions, and specifically, it is Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero.
Oh, I didn't realize that Broken Matt existed within the context of the Hardy Boys. I thought he was only when Matt was doing singles shit.
No, okay. So time to give a comprehensive history of the Broken Matt Hardy gimmick, as I feel like I just can't talk about this gimmick to anybody without explaining the full context of this stupid thing.
Yeah, sure. All right.
So back in early 2016, Matt Hardy is unbelievably the TNA champion. And he gets in a feud with his brother Jeff, because he's basically Big Money Matt Hardy. You know the gimmick from AEW. This originates in TNA. And so he's Big Money Matt, and Jeff's like, why are you such an asshole now, man? Stop being an asshole. You're my brother. And so they have a feud that escalates in a hardcore match where Jeff puts Matt through a table. And this causes Matt to pop back up I think it's either a couple weeks or a couple months later. I don't really remember the exact timeline on this. He pops back up with a white streak in his hair, talking in a weird posh accent and claiming that he has been broken. He speaks to the 7 deities, and he is a nut job. And to be clear, he's a heel. He's still a heel in the original version of the Broken Matt character.
Yeah.
And he is determined.
All because he went through a table.
It broke his brain. He landed just right, and it broke his brain.
Yes. Just like that one time Danhausen got hit just right in the head, and he went full evil again.
Yeah, this is the same concept. This is just brain damage. Broken Matt Hardy is just brain damage.
Oh man, damn! I thought it was like some actual like supernatural, spiritual. No, it's just
Matt. You know what? On sometimes it feels a little supernatural, but. Basically, we start doing these vignettes on the Hardy family compound, and like this just gets crazier and crazier. We start getting the broken universe of Broken Matt Hardy's weird antics and his side characters, including his wife Queen Rebby, his son King Maxwell, his father-in-law Senior Benjamin, his drone Vanguard 1, who is sentient, his sentient boat Skarsgård.
What?
And of course, there's also the Lake of Reincarnation, which has magical meta transform gimmick powers, where you go in the lake and you pop back up in an older gimmick.
Oh my! Wait! Oh, hold up! I think I know where the fuck Malachi Black got the mist from.
Yes, from the lake of obviously he drinks from the Lake of Reincarnation.
Absolutely. Well, he doesn't drink. He just puts some of the water in a water bottle, puts it in his mouth, switches it around, and then spits it back out.
Right. So basically, Broken Matt Hardy is determined that he must delete. He really becomes obsessed with going delete.
Is this where delete comes from?
Yes,
Broken Matt was
from the Broken Matt gimmick. But he must delete his brother Jeff, which he starts calling Brother Nero, because Nero is Jeff Hardy's middle name, along with the symbolism of calling him a Nero. But they have a match, the final deletion, where Broken Matt beats Jeff, and Jeff loses his whole ass name and identity and personality, becoming, in Matt's words, an obsolete mule. Brother Nero.
But wait, did he go into the lake?
No, he just lost the match. He lost the match, and so now he's Brother Nero.
That's how that works?
Yeah, he's just an obsolete mule. So the Hardys start a feud with Decay, and as I mentioned earlier, a big premise of the Decay feud was kidnapping. Rosemary sought to murder the entire Hardy family and kidnap their son Maxwell and convert him to Decay. She openly says this is the plan. So they have a fight, delete or decay, on the Hardy compound, and the big significant moment is Abyss swinging Janus, which is his his baseball bat with nails in it. Swings it at Matt Hardy. Jeff Hardy takes the hit and is like stabbed in the gut and dies. He sacrifices himself to save Matt so Matt can save King Maxwell. And so like between like trying to save his son and then after Brother Nero dies, Matt puts him in the Lake of Reincarnation. Matt turns babyface from all this. And now the Hardy Boys are back. Jeff's still going by Brother Nero, and he's still like, I'll fade away and classify myself as obsolete. But it's now like charming babyface. It's a pop line that everybody knows.
What's happening? What is Impact, dude? What the fuck is going on in that company?
They let Matt Hardy cook, and he never stopped.
Matt, that's enough cooking.
Yeah, honestly, Impact is the only company that has ever done the broken gimmick right, and it is because they both gave Matt Hardy time to do whatever weird shit he wanted to do, and B, gave him the freedom to do whatever weird shit they wanted to do.
It still does baffle my mind a little that like between Matt Hardy and Brody Lee to become the head of the Dark Order, it was Brody Lee and not broken Matt Hardy. But also, like, I'm not complaining, but it does boggle the mind a little bit knowing that, like, those two motherfuckers premiered on the same show. And one of them was, I mean, they've both been associated with creepy shit, but, like, it's just so wild that it's like you have Broken Matt and he is not associated with, like, the creepy bad guy faction.
I think they wanted it to be too serious. I think they wanted the Dark Order to be more serious than, like, Broken Matt is. Matt Hardy works as this like half absurdist supernatural humor and partially with a sprinkling of like fourth wall meta humor. It's hard to describe to people who haven't seen it.
And who only know him as like half of the like crazy flippy shit brothers.
Right. It is difficult. Like, it's the kind of thing, like, just go watch it for yourself. Watch some of his shit, broken Matt Hardy shit from Impact, and you're like, oh, okay. I either will get this or I won't. It was Broken Matt was an internet meme sensation and got a lot of buzz for the Hardys, but obviously all the serious wrestling critics and their fans were like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life.
And all the other fans who were into it were like, yes.
Yeah, but like Meltzer hated it, Cornette hated it. Like everybody, the entire like mainstream wrestling critic sphere, I'll say, all kind of hated the gimmick.
Damn, what the fuck? I hate Dave Meltzer now.
Hey. So the Hardys have won the tag belts. They are the tag champs, and then they run into these weird masked men known as the DCC. They debuted a couple weeks back. They're doing these weird cryptic promos, and they're speaking with a voice modulator. And they debut in Impact, and it is revealed it is a debuting Eddie Kingston. Bram, who is a longtime TNA regular, and their leader, the Cowboy, James Storm. I don't really get
any relationship to Lance Storm?
No, he's just a Cowboy.
Okay,
but
fair enough.
I don't. We've seen him on TNA before when he was tag teaming with Bobby Roode, and that like weird like Bobby Roode's a rich guy and James Cowboy is a cowboy who likes to drink. Aren't they a weird couple?
Sure.
Beer money. But you know, it's the DCC gimmick is kind of shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't understand what they're about at all. Like, what is their aims? Why are they doing this? I don't know, and I don't understand. They haven't really described it to me. It seems some generic, like, gonna take over the company shit. But they do get in a fight with the Hardys. They're targeting them for the tag titles. And they do a backstage brawl with the Hardys. And they knock Matt Hardy off of a forklift. A dangerous proposition to think about and post All Out 2021. But they do this gimmick where Matt Hardy takes this big fall, and suddenly he has amnesia and he is unbroken. So for 3 weeks, we've had skits of his family trying to fix his brain, fix him to being broken again, because they're like, we don't know you anymore, man. He's like this pacifist who hates violence and is like, what is all this weird shit in my house? And what do you mean this dirty lake is the lake of reincarnation? I'm not going in there, and I don't know how to play the piano, or I don't know this weird delete song you're trying to sing to me. And what's going on? He still speaks in the weird
What's
accent,
happening?
but he has like forgotten all of the stupid gimmicky
Wait,
bullshit of
he
the broken
still
Hardys.
speaks in the voice?
Yeah, he still does the voice, but now he's like in a turtleneck sweater, and they're like, "We gotta fix this man right now. We gotta fix
Yes.
this."
Yes. We can't stand Jeff Hardy being or Matt Hardy being more normal. We need his weird bullshit back. What is happening? What is Impact, Austin? What is any of this?
It's nuts.
Oh my
But
god.
they are where I honestly I've already forgotten if they either fix the amnesia thing or they're about to fix the amnesia problem.
Okay.
But it's time for the broken Matt to come back. His
After 3 whole weeks.
Rebby is distraught that her husband isn't the same.
Yes. As, as if he's been as if he's the broken thing is the man she fell in love with in the first place.
Rebby is all in on the Rebby. The whole Hardy family by this point is all in on this broken shit. So they're like, Matt, you gotta snap out of it.
Actually, he's like, we've thought it over, and I really like the fact that he calls me Queen all the time. I need that back.
I was like, you know what? That was actually a good thing.
That's so
But
funny.
the Hardys have been insane, and they will continue to be insane. All right, time to move on to from like one of the more fun storylines to one of the least fun storylines in Impact now. Let's talk about the X Division.
Oh no.
The X Division champion is DJZ. His gimmick is he looks like a rejected member of Daft Punk.
Sure.
And except he has barely had a storyline because he has suddenly invented this gimmick called Team X Gold. Basically, Team X Gold are trios tag matches between X Division teams. And the gimmick is once you build a team, you're not allowed to change teams. And the rules are strictly enforced, whatever that means. But what are they fighting for? Don't know. Why is it happening? Don't know. But it means that DJZ has no storyline involving the title and has barely defended it for 2 months. This shit sucks.
That's unfortunate.
It very much feels like when the X Division feels like, for a lot of its history, feels like TNA got this herd that like, oh, the X Division, it's so revolutionary. And it's like, because it was basically like the introduction to like heavy work rate, flippity do shit to major American audiences.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes TNA felt like they had to keep being innovative because that was the whole gimmick of the X Division. And so this Team X Gold thing feels like them trying to prove they are innovative. Finding some sort of gimmickry to the X Division.
I see.
Feels very similar. Feels very similar to me to when Hogan and Bischoff, when they came in, they looked at the X Division, they implemented a weight limit, and they instituted that every single X Division match had to be a triple threat match.
Okay.
Because that's the gimmick of we got to make that the gimmick of the belt.
Oh my god, I hate
everything's trios matches. But yeah, so X Division's barely doing anything. We also have one more championship in Impact I have to talk about. The Impact Grand Championship. Now, David, I'm going to have to warn you, I know we've had some rough goes thanks to the Brawl for All recently. So I have some bad news for you. It's wrestling on a round system.
See, that's fine. I mean, it's probably going to be fucking stupid, but at least it's not dumb fuck shoot fights.
Yeah, it's still regular wrestling, but it is 3 3-minute rounds, or on pay-per-view when you're getting nasty, it's 3 5-minute rounds.
Oh
Um,
shit, brother.
and so the other regular match rules apply. You can win by pin or submission, or, after every round, they announce judges' scores. So you always know who is winning or losing at a given time. You always know who is up at what the round results are.
Oh.
Because obviously,
Oh
if you get
shit.
to the end, if you get to the end of the 3 rounds, it's who had the best 2 out of 3 rounds. So there have been matches where one guy goes up 2-0 after 2 rounds. So it becomes a game of oh shit, I got to win by pinfall in the next 3 minutes or I lose.
Oh shit.
Because I've already lost on rounds.
See, that sounds actually kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. But the Impact Grand Champion, the inaugural champion, is Aron Rex, otherwise known as Damian Sandow.
Oh, hi there. Well, I will say I am happy to know that man got to have a career post whatever the fuck WWE did to his dignity.
A little bit. So here's the thing. There's a lot of, when wrestlers are booked kind of shitty in WWE, there's a lot of fans that like to be like, man, just wait till this guy gets out of WWE. He can really show what he can do. And sometimes that's true. Drew McIntyre, who is currently in Impact right now, I think he's injured, but he is currently on the Impact roster at this moment. He really found himself and became the top star kind of guy that he would come back to WWE as through his run on the Indies. Cody Rhodes found himself on the Indies.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes guys prove that WWE was right to not push them that much harder. Aron Rex was very much that guy. He came into Impact and immediately kind of was like, I've had enough of the stupid gimmicks. I'm going to be a serious wrestler like WWE never let me be. And as it turns out, regular serious wrestler Aron Rex is really boring.
Oh, no.
He's Impact Grand Champion here, and they're telling this story of he's trying to present himself as the hardworking, fighting champion, but he is increasingly becoming more and more desperate to cheat and keep the belt. Think if Orange Cassidy's current run as the international champion, but from a heel perspective. He keeps having match after match, and every time he kind of keeps finding ways to sneakily still win and hold on to the belt. And it's fine, but it's also not that compelling, especially because he's wrestling total lower card jabronis.
Yeah. Because what works about the Orange Cassidy Workhorse All Atlantic Championship is it's like a combination of things, right? We're seeing the Workhorse come out of the Lazy Savant. We're the story of I'm getting desperate to retain my belt at all costs is it was a slow kind of build, it's kind of subtle, and then it started ramping up. And they find, and again, it's interesting from a face perspective with this character. You gotta handle that carefully, and I wouldn't be surprised if this whole Aron Rex thing got stupid.
It's pretty dumb. It's pretty bad, but he is the grand champion. He has a match on this show.
Yeah, it's like with a heel, I feel like it's just easier to make that really trite and
yeah.
We've seen this all before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now let's cover a few non-title feuds. The big one I think that I need to cover is Ethan Carter III, EC3, versus Eli Drake. Dummy. Yeah.
LA Knight. Yeah.
Okay. LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drake is literally the LA Knight character, but his name is Eli Drake.
I see.
And he's a heel. And in 2016, he's a heel. Now it's beloved babyface thing, but right now he's a heel. and he does all these pop lines, and he does the very Rock-esque mannerism of like he hits these lines that are so obviously something the crowd will want to chant, and then he's like, "Hey, shut up! Don't do my shit."
Boo! We want to do the shit. Go.
Now it's very reminiscent of when The Rock would be like, "Finally, The Rock is coming back," and then he stops. He's like, "This ain't sing along with The Rock time."
Oh boy. Oh wow, that is some top tier heel shit. You want to do the pops? Fuck you.
Yeah, so Eli Drake has been on Ethan Carter the third, EC3. He came into the company, and you have to understand that before Billy Corgan was president of the company, Dixie Carter was president of the company.
Oh hey.
She was the moneyest mark to ever money mark, if I may say so myself.
Oh really?
She was a big TNA fan, and she dumped a lot of money into it through her father's company, Panda Energy. But she also didn't know jack diddly squat about running a wrestling company, and so she was pretty universally disliked as a promoter. She seems like a very nice woman. I don't want to be too mean to her, but like as the person in charge of TNA, everyone agrees she was in over her head. She didn't know what she was doing, and she sucked. And she let the boys walk all over her. Anyway, EC3 comes into the company after getting released from WWE when he was Derek Bateman, and so his gimmick is Ethan Carter III, Dixie Carter's super spoiled nephew, who thinks that that the entire company is owed to him because he's a Carter, and Carters always come out on top. And but then, especially after Dixie falls out, stops being in charge of the company anymore, he starts just becoming an unironic babyface. I don't really know or get how that babyface turn happened, but he is like a man of the people champ babyface now. And so
he read like the first chapter of Capital, and he's like, yes, my proletarian brethren.
Yeah, that's it.
I see, it's the Ryan Knight arc. Got it.
Right, so he has been feuding with Eli Drake because Eli Drake has basically been shit talking EC3, calling him like, he's basically like, "You've been handed so many opportunities in this damn company, and I've had to fight and scratch and claw to get to where I'm at, and I'm gonna prove I'm better than you."
Wait, hold up, let him cook.
Yeah, and so EC3 is like, dude, shut the fuck up and actually do something instead of just running your fucking mouth. And EC3 does eventually cop to the idea of like, I respect you. I think you have a lot of potential, and I respect your talent, Eli. If you just stopped, if you stopped just talking the talk and you started trying to walk the walk. And so they set up a match. EC3 has a title match with Eddie Edwards. Eli Drake wanted that title shot, and he was willing to be like, I won't challenge for the belt for a year if you give me a shot at your title match. And EC3's like, no, I refuse, because I don't want you to be unable to challenge for that belt. I want you in that title picture. Try it, because you make me better. What I want you to do is put something you really care about on the line, your voice. And so they have a match where if Eli Drake loses, he can't talk for the rest of 2016.
Oh, fuck.
And they have the match.
I see EC3 had fucking watched Little Mermaid the night before he cut that promo.
Hey! Poor unfortunate soul, Eli Drake.
Yeah.
So sad.
Literally.
So true.
Honestly, I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, he wants Eli to know that it's really all about body language.
Yeah. What I want from you is your voice. But without my voice, how can I? Yeah.
But he accepts the match, dummy. Yeah, and then he does lose. So on this episode, we will not be getting to hear Eli Drake. Yeah, because he has lost his voice. He cannot talk for the rest of the year, which is about a month at this point.
That's insane. Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's actually
Okay,
been a
well that's
pretty
kind of cool.
decent. It's actually not been a half bad feud to follow.
Yeah, I
on
don't hate
TV.
that.
And now we talked about Allie a lot earlier. We're talking about her relationship history with Rosemary. But as it turns out, she's in Impact right now. As she is the meek, mild-mannered assistant to Maria Kanellis. Until about a month ago, Maria Kanellis, who is actually going by Maria Bennett right now because her husband Mike Bennett is in the company as the Miracle Mike Bennett. But in my head, I think of her as Maria Kanellis because it's her WWE name.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty
Maria
sure that's what she goes by in AEW too. I'm pretty sure she's Maria Kanellis there.
Probably. So Maria Kanellis, it was in charge of the Knockouts division, whatever that means. I don't know why that booking power was afforded to her in kayfabe. Why? But she was put in charge of the division and was basically the ruthless tyrant you'd expect. She has her lady squad consisting of Sienna, who I don't think you've ever really seen before. I don't really know. They're just doing mean girl shit. There's nothing more you know about Sienna and Laurel Van Ness, aka Chelsea Green.
Okay.
And they have her assistant Allie, who they're portraying Allie as not a wrestler. They're not using Allie's past indie history. They're treating her as like this person that Maria brought into the company to do her menial labor as and be abused as her assistant. But they are building to Allie standing up for herself and breaking away from Maria. She's already kind of done it a few times. She mouthed back. She actually verbally smacked Maria back one time when Maria was abusing her, and this led to her having a match with Sienna.
That's
but
really cool.
You know, it's like, and Brandy Rhodes came up, who has also been feuding with Maria. And while Cody was absent, Cody had a feud with Mike with the Bennetts. The Rhodes is feuding with the Bennetts.
So Cody's fucked off, but Brandy's still here?
Hanging around.
Oh my god.
But she was trying to be like,
for this world.
She was like, "Come on, Allie, fight! You can fight back." And Allie's like, "I'm sorry, Miss Brandy, but I need this job, so I am not."
Oh.
It's so weird. Like you'll see Allie, and I think you'll be a little weirded out by how well she plays this character because like you're used to the bunny.
I'm used to the bunny.
Yeah, she is not. She is the opposite of the bunny right now.
Insane.
But so she's getting tired of the abuse, and also, well, she's kind of getting feelings for Braxton Sutter. Braxton Sutter, one of the X Division guys, also the future, the Blade of the Butcher,
the future, the Blade, and the future IRL, the husband of the bunny.
Actually, no, they are currently married in 2016. They're just on screen. They haven't had a relationship.
Oh, well, that's cute.
So, but she's catching feelings for Braxton, and the lady squad noticed this, and so Chelsea Green is trying to make a move on Braxton specifically to try to fuck with Allie.
Oh.
To Braxton's credit, he is not into this at all. He is very clearly kind of into Allie, and he is not receptive to what Chelsea's doing at all.
Well, that's actually a really wholesome story. Oh, that's cute.
But, you know, they're still trying to, like, drive a wedge between Braxton and Allie and, like, just to hurt her.
Yeah,
but it's coming. It's you know, we're building to her breaking away from Maria and her evil squad of mean girls.
Interesting.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so any other storylines I think we got to cover here? I don't think so. There are a few minor storylines that have been happening, but I don't think they affect this episode, and also I don't care about them. I suppose I'll bring them up if I have to. But yeah, this has been a very long front half here as I go into basically the state of TNA in 2016.
You should be proud of me. I took notes. I wanted to make sure that I was paying proper deference to your special interest. All right, I had a whole little outline of the main points you taught me about here, so that I can like go in with proper reference point.
Sure.
I feel you should be very proud of me right now. I do feel
Yay,
it.
I am. So, if you would like to watch along with us on this one, you can do so at Impact Plus. So, Impact's streaming service. There is still a bit of, for rights issues, and because they don't have a ton of infrastructure to like clean up, upload videos to the streaming service, content stuff. That takes manpower to be able to do. There are still a few years missing between, I think, 2012 to 2015. But all of 2016 Impact is on there, including, actually, I think they're still missing episodes in 2016, but very few. We are watching the December 1st, 2016 episode. By that point, they got everything. So they have most of the episodes of TNA Impact. They have all of the weekly pay-per-views from when they were a weekly pay-per-view company before they had a TV deal. They have all of the Impact pay-per-views. They have a ton of original content series and stuff. It's actually it's a really nice thing. And if you're trying to follow Impact on a week-to-week basis, they have episodes of Impact up next day. So Impact Plus is how we're going to watch this show. There is a full version of this on YouTube, but it is sped up, pitch shifted, and mirrored. I actually looked into this. They're like an hour.
That's 15. Why it was 15 minutes shorter?
Yeah, it's because they speed it up.
Ouch.
They speed it up, pitch shift it, and they mirror it.
Oh, I hate that shit.
Copyright is a bitch. So I guess that's an option as well. But we'll be back in the back half to discuss the December 1st, 2016 episode of TNA Impact on Pop TV.
God damn.
And we are back. We have finished the December 1st, 2016 episode of Impact. David is also in my apartment filming this part.
I am right. Hello.
Whoa! Yeah. So
it's a very
different,
very surreal setup. But I can't say I hate it. It's kind of cool to like have the in-person podcast experience sometimes. Of like, feels like we're like radio hosts or something.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the December 1st, 2016 episode of Impact. I said this would be the most self-indulgent of our episodes.
Yeah, and so how you doing?
Listen, it was a perfectly solid episode of Impact.
No, in my opinion. I
very consistent quality that I've seen the last few months of watching 2016 Impact.
I mean, I didn't like hate it. It was not probably my favorite wrestling media I've ever consumed.
Sure.
But I did have an appreciation, and part of it too is I can appreciate like a lot of these motherfuckers who I know from like
other
places now that I'm like, you're a little bit different these days.
Yeah, but of course, I had to pick the episode where Rosemary won the Knockouts Championship.
Of course. I did kind of suspect like. Well, this could have gone one of two ways, and I wasn't sure which one because it would have either been Rosemary wins, and this is Austin being completely like self-indulgent, like yes, look at my fave, or it could have been like Rosemary lost and it gave you an excuse to like go on a rant about like what bullshit.
What? No, would never. No,
despite the fact you totally did do that in the front half. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm in agreement.
I did do that.
Frankly,
I did do that with Decay overall, but this is the start of Rosemary's like 266 days as Knockouts champion, like the fourth longest ever run with the belt.
Jesus. That's a lot longer than I thought they would have given her. Yo, that's actually sick.
Yeah, this is her one run with the belt, and I kind of wish she had more than another one.
Yeah, but also like a run that long.
She had a heck of a time as the champ.
That's insane. That's an actually insane run. You said 466?
266.
266. Either way, that ain't bad.
It's a lot. She's in the top 10 of like most days as champ.
Top 5, evidently.
Top five in the longest reign, top 10 in overall days.
Oh, okay, I
as
got you.
champion.
Fourth longest single reign. I
Yeah.
understand. Okay, but still, that's significant.
Yes.
Well, shit. All right. Well, that rules. I'm glad we got to see the jumping off point for that.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Next time we should do the jumping off point for Allie and Rosemary's fate, like friendship / babyface turn for Rosemary. That happens in the middle. That happens in like April 2017.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
You love me some Allie.
And we'll get to her.
In less sick territory. Dear Lord, the DCC.
I hate. They're so lame.
You can tell that this was like the back when boomers thought anonymous memes were still hot, because you didn't tell me, Austin, about the fucking masks.
Honestly, I have zoned out so much of the DCC stuff. The only parts of that storyline I like are the stuff with the Hardys, because I think that's funny.
Well, yeah.
I think the amnesia stuff was funny. But like the DCC as a group suck.
Yes.
Really bad. And so like, of course I didn't bring up the masks.
Which is a shame, because I fucking love
There's
Eddie.
a lot of talent in that group.
Especially Edward the motherfucker Kingston.
Mm-hmm. But they're doing weird edgelord hacker shit.
Yeah, and also like I'll get to it, but they clearly also are trying to do a shield thing a little bit.
Well, Eddie got the message we should do a shield thing. Yes. I don't know if everyone else did.
I don't know. It felt very like Impact's answer to Shield. We'll get there. But
yeah, we get
a little teaser.
We do get a recap of all this feud, and I can't believe I forgot that when recapping in the front half how the Hardy amnesia thing goes. Okay. I don't know. This is what I get for trying to sum up 2 months in without notes.
Yes.
But I forgot that how they solved the amnesia plot is Matt runs out to his front yard and is like, if the 7 deities would give me a sign, and he gets electrocuted. Like the 7 deities send down a lightning bolt.
And he, of course, just flat back.
And he becomes broken again.
And Austin,
it's been rebroken!
Look, I know this is wrestling. To an extent, I need to expect this. But Austin, these skits on the Hardy compound, what porn tier sitcom am I watching?
How dare you? This is I love this the goofy
it's
bits.
Great, but dear God, the acting. Oh dear God, Matt's wife literally had the intonations of a porn star.
Rebby's not an actress.
Oh my God. On that subject, she also looks extremely turned on by the fact that he's rebroken again.
Nah, Rebby is all in on the broken thing.
Rebby and Broken Matt get real kinky, and she's super into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not realize that in the year of our Lord 2016, Impact is still doing the 6-sided ring. I thought they did away with that.
They went back and forth on it.
Why?
Originally, it was the 4-sided ring. When they were in the asylum. In the fairgrounds in Tennessee,
okay,
because the setup just didn't work.
Yeah,
and then they got to TV.
Yeah, when they became TNA on TV, they did the 6-sided
as a means of like differentiation and having a marketable gimmick.
Yes,
and that was they've always talked about how like the 6-sided ring is how they like got merch in like toy stores and shit. Because you could sell the 6-sided ring.
Oh,
like most, like obviously most companies are not going to care about TNA.
Yeah,
but like you can be like, hey, the 6-sided ring, isn't this cool?
Yeah, okay.
Sell that.
It's merchandisable.
That's always been the justification. Is it was like,
oh my God, it's merchandisable.
And then Hogan and Bischoff got there and they said, brother, if you want to be a serious wrestling company, you got to compete, brother. You got to get 4 sides.
Hogan and Bischoff actually having a decent idea.
I don't even agree with that. I think 6 is fine.
Well, yeah, but apparently it was a pain in the ass for the wrestlers.
Yeah, all right.
So
the wrestlers hated bumping on it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna side with them.
I don't side with Hogan and Bischoff's explanation for why they needed to do that. They took it as like you got to be more like WWE if you want to be a competitive company.
Yes, that is stupid.
So make it 4 sides.
Decided to Monday Night War it up again.
Yep. We should do a whole arc just about some of the Monday Night War shenanigans, Monday Night War 2 shenanigans.
Yeah.
And then after Hogan and Bischoff kind of fucked off, they brought back 6-sided ring because that's what because it's a fan favorite. Like the fans love the 6-sided stuff. And then Impact moved away from it after Anthem took over because they were like, because they listened to the wrestlers who were all like, yeah, we don't want to bump on this. We don't want to bump on this.
Yeah. No, I don't blame them. I side with the wrestlers here. Like, yeah, sure, it looks cool, but those poor workers. Anyway, all right. So I also made the note of, man, the Impact Zone has really let itself go.
Yeah, it's not. It
doesn't look quite as glorious as it did.
It's never been quite the same since they left Spike TV.
But aren't they still in the same filming location?
Yeah, I think they're still in Universal, but they changed the aesthetic when when they started. They tried to change around with the aesthetic and try to.
Dude, that aesthetic is brutal to look at.
It's a little too bright for me.
A little too bright. It shows off in way too stark a contrast just how like skimpy that audience is. And the thing is, when we watched the fucking TNA Christmas episode, something I took for granted, like the camera's kind of always doing some crazy shit in the Impact Zone, whereas here it's only like dead on straight shots.
Yeah, I mean, like, the resources are not here anymore for this company.
Yeah, and you can tell. Like,
Panda Energy is out. At this point, Billy Corgan owns this shit, and soon Anthem will be who owns it.
Yeah.
So the money's not there anymore, especially because their TV is a lot shittier now.
Yeah.
I didn't really go into it, but like they were on Spike for a long time. They got booted in 2014. It was because Dixie Carter. It's because the company was like, don't get Vince Russo back in here.
Yeah.
And Dixie Carter hired him back.
And
then the reason they found out is because she sent the wrong email about it. She was trying to email Jeremy Borash, and she emailed an executive at a Spike about TNA.
Oh my god!
About Vince Russo, and so like they booted. That was the final straw. Got them booted off of Spike, and like they would have had to leave eventually because Spike TV as a concept is going to die. Soon.
True. Yeah,
but. They went from Spike.
Ways to Die can only carry you so far.
That's true. Listen, we are moving away from like channels for dude bros being like a profitable venture on cable.
Yeah.
Spike was the dude bro channel. That's why they took TNA. That's what they were leading into that.
Yeah.
But
again, 1,000 Ways to Die.
Right. And the best they could do after Spike TV was Destination America.
That sounds already like a downgrade. I can't even articulate why. It's does.
Like, if it's not airing TNA, they aired like hunting. It was like hunting channel shit.
Oh no!
And then after they left that. I don't remember why, but they left that channel, and they're currently on 2016. They're airing on Pop TV, formerly known as the TV Guide channel.
Really?
That's the rebranded TV Guide channel.
My God. Oh, no. Impact.
Yeah, no. They're fucked. Nowadays, they air on Access TV because Anthem Sports owns that channel.
Sure.
So it's one of those things where it's like, it's a shitty network, but also they don't have to pay Anthem for it.
At least it's not the artist formerly known as the TV Guide channel.
Yeah,
at least it's on some kind of like niche sports network, right? Like I'll take that any day. But anyway, all right. So, yes, we're in the slightly downgraded feeling Impact Zone, and Aron,
Aron Rex. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Yeah, and wasn't that also his Damien Sandow?
Yes. Okay. That's how that was. And then they transitioned to the rock theme. Aron Rex is here. And he gets on the mic and he's like, over the last few months,
I have to say, first he gets on the mic and goes, how's everyone doing tonight?
How y'all doing?
And the crowd responds with a resounding,
What do y'all want to talk about?
Yeah.
No.
You suck.
Yeah. So Aron Rex, he's like, over the last few months, he has established this title as the number one title in the industry. Lies. In the world. Lies. In any competition. Lies.
I don't think I think if you went over to Wimbledon and asked them about this this title, they'd stick you in an institution.
Yeah, of course. The Impact Grand Championship.
Yeah.
But Aron Rex says, in the spirit of competition, he will issue an open challenge right now for anyone in the back.
Yes.
And he's just anyone. And then Moose comes out.
Yeah.
And Aron is like, wait, no, hold on. Hit Kratos music.
Okay.
Don't do this. No, wait a minute.
Grato's
a lower card comedy dude in Impact right now.
Oh man.
He was hoping for a jobber, basically, and he's like, wait.
All right. So clearly Moose has an iconic thing going on. And I want to see Austin if I can get it right. Moose comes out and I believe the way it goes is choo choo.
He choo choos, but it's Moose.
But why is it
Moose?
Why is it choo choo? It's train.
I don't know why he did that. He's just always done it. I don't know where he's like, this is what I'm doing.
All right. Well, I choose to believe that it's a train thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he gets in ring and Aron Rex is like, oh fuck.
God damn it.
I may have made a mistake.
Reaping, sowing.
Yeah, exactly. So they ring the bell and Aron Rex goes to the outside. Or no, he starts off doing stretches in the corner.
Yeah, he's faffing around.
And then he goes to the outside, does like a cartwheel. He's totally not stalling you guys.
Yeah. I will note before we just get to the end of this match, because it goes like 2 minutes. Josh Matthews really wants to talk about how Impact almost has 1 billion views on YouTube.
Is that the truth? Joshua?
I don't know. But I do, but he was like
cumulative?
Yeah, cumulative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know how accurate it was, but he was like, guys, check out the Impact YouTube channel. We're so close to 1 billion views.
Christ almighty. Oh yeah, I'm sure your videos are. I'm sure your subscriber count is skyrocketing. YouTube sending you all the plays.
What is Impact's subscriber count right now?
Oh boy,
let's look.
Are we about to destroy this man's whole career live on podcasts? I think we are.
I mean, Impact Wrestling has a current, a respectable 4.67 billion.
You know what? That's actually anticipated. Godspeed. I'll allow it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so Aron Rex faffs around as long as he can until Moose gets his hands on him and just fucking
this was missed on you, and I didn't really bring it up as part of his Cheaty McCheaterson shit, but he's been like stuffing a ring under his like finger tape.
Oh.
And he tries to do that here. And he swings and he misses, and Moose ducks, hits a spinning clothesline, and
that's
him.
The end. And okay, so you were talking about how stupid the 3-round system is. I didn't realize it was so stupid that it was just like the rounds don't mean anything for like gathering points. It's just if you get a knockdown in any of those.
Oh no, they do. This was not the match to show that off, but after every round, the judges point to a winner.
But so it's like
boxing.
So
it's graded like boxing.
It's points or pinfall.
Yeah,
that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, and that's how Sandow and Aron Rex, excuse me, has won his last couple of Grand Championship matches. He's down on points and would lose if he gets to the end of the match, but he pins first before time runs out.
Sure. I can see it could maybe be interesting. I don't fucking know.
They're gonna kill this belt within like a year.
I will say, and I'll have this to say about pretty much all of the belts that we see tonight. Dumb fuck like competition. Solid belt design. I was kind of digging all of the belt designs on the show tonight.
Okay.
X Division especially. When we get to it, I'll have to like.
X Division's too lime green for me.
I don't know. Something about it just kind of hits. But anyway,
Jeremy Borash gets in the ring to rub it the fuck in.
Yeah.
To do an interview.
Yeah.
My bad. with Moose, and Aron Rex is sprawled out on the ground while he's
just
doing
dead.
this.
Moose cuts, I don't know.
It's generic as hell. He's
generic
like, when I
promo.
came to TNA, I shocked the world and made an impact.
I made a huge impact. Roll credits.
Yeah. And if anyone in the back wants to challenge me, I got one word for him. And he starts doing Moose.
Oh, I mean,
Moose. He didn't even say it. He just does the taunt, and then he lets the crowd do Moose for him.
Yeah, which, that's a power play right there.
Yeah, so then Jeremy Borash tries to interview Aron Rex, and he's like, I can't do this right now. Yeah. And he starts crying, and Josh Matthews calls him out on commentary for being a baby.
Yeah, fucking so that was a thing. It was blessedly short.
Yeah.
We can move on to better things now. We cut to Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Hardy.
Jeff
Hardy ain't here.
My
world.
Jeff Jarrett ain't here.
My world.
Yeah.
Wee. Right now, he's trying to get Global Force Wrestling off the ground.
The fuck is that?
It was some venture of his that he had, and it was like he tried to make it an indie thing. It didn't work. He tried to. It ended up being like a fucking gold scam at one point. Global Force Gold. He tried to sell Global Force Gold for a hot second. And then it kind of merged into Impact. His newest plan, especially with Impact, was kind of floundering through all the different channel changes and the ownership changes. They're like, we're gonna bring it into GFW. We're gonna merge these two entities into one thing.
Oh yeah,
and become like Global Impact will become Global Force Wrestling.
Great.
It didn't.
Oh.
It went like shit.
Oh really? No way.
It was really funny. They filmed one TV taping because of course they did, and then XWF style. Everyone got signed before that they ever went to TV. But TNA released
no prima donna slap nuts.
No, Prima Donna Slap Nuts, you're right. But they released the GFW tapings as an Impact pay-per-view. And so you get to see a bunch of dudes who left to go to NXT. Bobby Roode was a center point of the GFW booking. And then right before he goes to NXT.
And they had the balls to sell it as a TNA pay-per-view. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, so... Anyway, so we got to Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, he's backstage.
Jeff Hardy out here making me wonder why the fuck he doesn't cut way more promos.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the fuck he said.
No, they asked him if Matt's all right. And Jeff's like, well, I haven't spoken to Matt. But
I haven't spoken to Matt. But, we've never done things this way before.
But I'm sure he'll be here. And, he's been rebroken. I don't know how he's going to act. But we're going to defend our titles tonight.
It's and he makes some comment about the camera zooms in on him and he's got the one fucking white pupil.
Yeah, from when he was turned obsolete.
And then the other eye, which is just white, all white, no anything. And he says something about it's not something I seen before. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
We cut to the ring, and oh my God, a clock on the screen, creepy music. It's the Boogeyman.
It's the DCC.
Oh God, even scarier.
All right. And I wrote James Storm as the mic, and I can't hear shit with that fucking voice modulator because even after they reveal the identities of the group. Yeah, even after they reveal the identity of the group, they're still hiding behind masks doing voice modulation.
Oh my God. No, and it's so obvious those are pre-recorded too, which is fine, except for the fact that James Storm clearly has not fully memorized the pauses and pick backups in the speech. So he'll start gesticulating his hand early, or he'll hesitate until the recording comes back. He's like, oh
yeah.
Okay.
I did actually pick up some of this bullshit of the masks are here not to hide their faces, but to show they aren't afraid to take a stand. About what? I don't know. Don't
anonymous.
Ask me.
We are anonymous.
Don't ask me.
Don't ask me, brother.
But they're here they aren't here to delete anyone. They aren't here to make anyone obsolete. But when you stand in our way, you will be erased.
Look, I do appreciate that you know, they injected a little bit of culture into this. They got Stephen Hawking to do the voiceover cameo for them.
Very true, yeah.
Oh yeah. But then, Brother Nero. Hey, wait a minute. That's not.
No, he's obsolete. He's not allowed to do that shit anymore.
What the fuck? But that's the whole thing.
You haven't got to see it, but like even when like after he was turned obsolete, Matt would like stop him from doing high spots. He'd like try to climb the ladder and he'd be like, "No, Brother Nero, do not be a spot monkey. Get down."
And Jim Cornette is on his podcast going, "Yeah, I think that Matt is on here making some really great points."
Yeah, but yeah, so Jeff Hardy's not allowed to do the dun 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 dun. He's not supposed to jump on ladders and shit anymore because he is obsolete.
He's obsolete, and he goes along with this because, okay,
he just does.
I do have a wonder about that, but I'll get into that later. Matt, who's the guy on commentary? Matthew.
It's Josh Matthews and the Pope are the commentary.
I think it was Josh Matthews said something about Jeff Hardy to the effect of, "This man is not a human. Yes, he's a mule. Even I."
Yes, he is an obsolete mule. Matt keeps saying that.
Yes. The crowd is chanting delete, delete, delete.
Delete.
You know, trying to summon Matt back.
Right.
Shout out to the one dude in like the front who yells obsolete while everyone else is yelling delete. That
is like a call and response, but it also is not working when only like one guy's doing obsolete.
Well, okay, his friend next to him very meekly started to hop on it too. He's like, obsolete, and then they just kind of wait for him. And
like the Hardys have done like obsolete, delete as like a dueling chant thing, but you know, this time only like one guy is out here doing obsolete.
Mule. Why the fuck? Why are we burying poor Jeff Hardy by calling him an obsolete mule?
Except it all kind of works this time because it's all fun babyface shenanigans.
I guess it was from them feuding.
Like when Matt started doing that, he was a heel, and then the internet started to unironically love this gimmick. So like now he's like an obsolete mule, but he's like fun.
Yes, I am obsolete. Thank you.
Yeah, he is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they didn't get to do like the full batshit broken entrance of like Rebby is on a piano, she plays the song, and then Matt comes out, and then Jeff comes out and sings, "I'll classify myself as obsolete."
Jeff has a band. I forgot about that.
Fade away and classify myself as obsolete. It's a whole production that they did not do on this episode.
Still a better musical group than Fozzy.
Yeah.
I do wonder, like, out of kayfabe, how much of this was like how much Jeff was really into it, and how much of it was him being like, "All right, man, I know this goofy bullshit is like."
I feel like he was pretty into it. You know, a chance to chance to rest the body a little bit here.
That's fair. But like,
also got to do some goofy bullshit.
You can also tell that this was Matt's brainchild because he's like immersed in it, and Jeff's like, "Yeah, I'm here too. I'm the
brother.
Yeah, I'm here."
Matt is casting himself as the main character for the first time in the history of the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, true. Oh man, imagine that. You know that probably does explain a lot of like Matt's like, "You know what? Fuck you. I get to be in the spotlight this time.
Yeah.
You flippity-doo piece of shit." So Jeff is like, my brother is on his way. And then the DCC's music hits again, but then fizzles out. And
well, no, hold on. Okay. We after Jeff does a whole promo, Eddie steps up to him and he's like, "Oh yeah, where's Matt, partner?" He still does his Eddie Kingston mannerisms here.
Everyone in the back is afraid to say they don't want you here. I'm not.
And in response, Jeff hits a twist of fate on Eddie Kingston. The DCC beat down on Jeff. And then the DCC music hits, and Matt Hardy has teleported into the ring.
Matt Hardy is here. He's got a mic in hand. He starts to cut a promo. And Austin, I feel like you were
but first, Jeff Hardy, he has to turn around to make sure it's his broken brother, and he looks and he goes, Brother Moore, I knew you'd come.
Yes, I guess we're calling. I guess part of the Broken Universe is everybody needs to go by their middle names.
Yeah.
Which scarily means you and I would both fit very well into the Broken Universe.
That's true. We would.
Brother David, Brother Austin. You know how it.
Yeah, you'd come.
I feel like that doesn't quite have the same kick as Nero and Moore, but you know.
Yeah.
I feel like it was quite generous of you, Austin, to call Matt's voice here a posh accent. That was a very generous
I didn't say it was well done. I was trying to just kind of guesstimate what he's trying to go for.
I will delete you. What is he? What are you?
Delete
you. Delete. Oh my god. What
is the tag team titles of the world belong to my broken brilliance?
See, you're doing it way better.
And brother Nero. And his memories have been restored. And he's like, the DCC stands for deletion coming cowards.
Fuck you. That's so bad. Get out of here with your bad fucking accent. Delete.
Be deleted.
Delete. Is that like a brand of like body soap or something? Delete.
Oh,
it's okay. Matt, calm down there. Buddy.
Yeah. And so after that, because we don't just go to the tag title match. No. We got to save that for later. We go to Mandrews, Braxton Sutter, and DJZ cutting promos in pre-recorded promos about their X Division title match tonight, and they're all bros.
Bro, holy shit, Baby Blade.
Yeah, Baby Blade is the most fascinating part here.
I felt he looks so young. I cannot recognize him. Mm-hmm. I feel very proud of this one. I do want to point out how they said this whole video package. So DJZ's two teammates of Mandrews and Braxton Sutter are challenging him for the X Division.
Right.
And I made a note during the video package of DJC's teammates are challenging him for the X Division title, and they're totally gonna stay friends after this. They are they're talking about, oh, we're such good friends. We're the best of oh no.
Braxton Sutter is like, I know DJZ's hurting, but I won't target his injuries.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't.
He does it. Yeah.
But whatever. It's a bunch of fluff where they're like, we're all gonna be friends.
We're all gonna be bros, and I'm like, oh,
whatever.
No.
Team Go for Broke is what they call themselves.
Oh, that's cute. Too bad they're not gonna exist for much longer.
Yeah.
We get an earlier tonight cutaway to the segment that happened like 10 minutes ago.
Listen, there's a lot of recap in here.
The fucking Aron Rex shit.
Yeah.
Earlier tonight, 10 whole minutes ago. Thank you.
Yeah, Impact is filling a lot of time with recaps.
Was gonna say,
they are.
Maybe that 75-minute cut wasn't all that.
It's not. It's not that they cut the recaps; it's that they speed it up.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The X Division gets its own goofy ass intro.
Yeah, that was weird. I've never seen that.
God.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that shit before.
So on top of things that the producers of Impact clearly still think is hot is 90s extreme. Oh my god, it's the X Division. Thank you.
I mean, they're still letting themselves be called TNA, so you know.
Oh god. Anyway. So
yeah, it's the X Division Championship match.
Yeah. DJZ is allegedly from the B side. Okay.
Rejected Daft Punk ass.
I gotta
DJZ.
pull up, X Division title because I liked the design on this.
And you actually know who DJZ is.
Do I?
Yeah, he is Joaquin Wild.
Really?
Yeah. He's in Joaquin Wild. He's in the E now.
See, I'm still not sure if that name Joaquin Wild is supposed to be a play on like Wacky and Wild. I feel like
I don't know.
Anyway, Joaquin Wild, whatever. Yeah. So like the X Division title, it's like it's got like the fucking. It is very green, like you said. It's got an X, a big old X on the front, but it's not just like the OG NXT belt X. It's like it's popping out from like a globe. I don't know. It's just got kind of a cool silhouette to it, and I'm into it. And like the side plates are like rounded X shaped. It's real. I kind of dig it. Something about it just looks kind of cool. I would happily wear that belt. But anyway, so I thought that was neat. I will say, I was getting distinct Mandrews chants from the crowd. Not much really for DJZ, not really much for Braxton, but oh man, are these motherfuckers in the tank for Mandrews?
Yeah, I mean he's a fun wrestler. I don't know.
Is there like anything going on with him that would put him distinctly more over than
No.
Okay.
He's a flippy guy. I don't know.
Okay. Sure.
Listen, nothing in the X division has stories right now. It's just all Team X gold.
It's just flippity do.
It's just flippity do, but now we're in tag teams. That's
the match starts, and off the bat, commentary is asking who we give the strength advantage to, as if Braxton Sutter
is not so obviously bigger than the other two guys.
And it's not as if he's not facing down two just tiny ass twinks.
Yeah, like obviously it's Braxton Sutter.
Like this is not the Blade at his berriest, but like come on.
Yeah.
It's a layup if ever I've heard one.
Yeah. DJZ honestly doesn't have a lot to do in this match. He gets thrown out of the ring a lot so that Braxton and Mandrews can go 1v1.
I was not unimpressed by DJZ though. You gotta
what he did was good.
Yeah,
but he was just not in the match very often.
That's fair. You had a comment at some point about that felt unnecessary.
Oh God, what would I have done?
I don't know. It was a gajillion and a half flippy shits.
It was probably some flippy shit thing. I was like, this, you didn't
Austin,
need to go that far.
You've been watching 2 months of Impact. I have not watched anything.
Oh, now I know. Now I know what it was. Is Mandrews has Braxton and DJZ on the outside.
Oh my God.
He goes to the apron. He jumps to the steel stairs. Absolutely. And then jumps off the stairs to moonsault.
Absolutely.
Like you jump from a
Austin,
lower distance
Austin,
on this.
Austin, it's the X division. Everything is necessary as long as it's flippity-doo Spot Fest Arena.
I guess flippity-doo Spot Fest Arena. That's all we got here.
Absolutely.
But then the funny thing is, after he does his double moonsault bullshit, Mandrews, for no reason at all that we can even discern, he goes and gets his skateboard. And then he starts skateboarding slowly down the ramp. And DJZ just runs up and like elbows him off.
Just boom. Oh, that was so fucking funny. Commentary is out here also putting over that these guys are still totally gonna be friends.
It's fine, we're bros.
This match. They're like, they're gonna crack open a cold one after this match.
Yeah, okay. Of course.
Absolutely.
So basically, like a story of the match for DJZ is that his knee is hurting. His knee is hurty. And so that's a big reason why he's so out of the match.
I see.
There's a lot of back and forth, like everyone hitting moves on each other one after the other kind of thing.
I will say we do get a spot where Mandrews and Sutter try to double team DJZ, but DJZ like grabs them by their arms, pulls them together.
Oh yeah,
like, now kick.
And then he like hits them with something. And then he hits them with a double cutter.
Oh yeah, that
when
was
he does
sick.
that. That was pretty cool.
Man, fucking I also like hearing commentary say it all the time. Mandrews.
It's Mark Andrews, and he decided the best ring name for myself is to combine my name into Mandrews.
It sounds like one of those words that means nothing if you say it too much, except you only need to say it once to get that.
I mean, like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is this? But yeah, the long and the short of it is that so like you said, DJZ spending a lot of time on the outside, the strategic knee thing. So Mandrews and Sutter are putting in a lot of the work. Mandrews gets Sutter. I think he like flips him or something, gets him down, is about to go for the pin. DJZ.
Yeah, so they do the whole flag out of the whole sequencing finish here. Is Braxton hits a flatliner on DJZ. Mandrews then hits a cutter on Braxton. And then he does a shooting star from the top rope.
Yes.
And he's going to go for the pin. And DJZ, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is he like rolls up Mandrews from where he was pinning Braxton. Like he like flips him around, like he rolls him around and
Comes from the outside.
Comes from the outside, grabs him off, rolls him up for the win. To keep the title.
Yeah, and Mandrews is totally
he is pissed.
Mad.
He is mad about this.
He's not mad at all.
DJZ and Braxton Sutter after the match respectfully high-five each other.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right,
Sutter's
Mandrews.
Like, come on, Mandrews, get over here.
Let's raise the hand of the victor. We're all friends. And then Mandrews kicks DJZ's leg out of his leg.
Gets his leg out of his leg. Exactly.
Yep. And Braxton's like, what are you doing?
Dude, the fucking sound design on this, we're not covered by a whole lot of crowd noise. So it does a very good job of pointing out how not good wrestlers can be at improving in situations like this. Because the dialogue we got from Braxton Sutter, it was pretty close to, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get back in here. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. But it was a fun enough X Division match that is setting up more stuff. DJZ and Mandrews going forward.
Yeah. Backstage, Allie is big sad that Braxton didn't win.
And then Laurel Van Ness is here to be like,
who the fuck is Laurel Van Ness?
Chelsea Green, first of all. Matt Cardona's wife.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. No kidding.
Yeah. So Laurel Van Ness, she's Laurel Van Ness in Impact. And as I said in the front half, the kind of gimmick here is that Allie has a crush on Braxton and Braxton kind of has a crush on Allie. But Laurel Van Ness is forcibly putting herself in between them. And so Allie's all sad about losing. And Laurel is like, oh, I bet you're really sad about that, Allie. And, I guess, Braxton, I'm going to have to, comfort him tonight.
Oh, my God. Also, apparently, Laurel Van Ness shows up on Lucha Underground.
She does as, I don't remember. Reclusa, that's right. That's she has a very short time in season 4. I'm afraid I don't remember a lot about her.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah, she's in the season 4 crop.
I see.
But Allie is out here making correct observations. She's like, Laurel, for all you talk about how much sex you have with Braxton, why do I never see you with him?
And she's like, you're fired.
It's like, fuck you. We're trying to keep it on the down low.
Fuck you. You're fired. Yeah, she implies that Allie's fired for some reason.
It's because she threw the pie in Maria's face, which we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah,
but
we get a full ass replay.
They replayed the entire Thanksgiving bit. So honestly, I didn't write notes about it. Any notes that you have, feel free.
All right, let's see. So they're having Thanksgiving dinner. And Maria's like, we have an actual pilgrim here, Allie. Allie comes out like a pilgrim fucking costume.
Yeah.
With her theme music replaced by turkey gobbles. Great.
Correct.
I see the main observation I had throughout this whole segment was, man, after being put through this kind of humiliation, is it any wonder why she devolved into the sadistic psychopath known as the bunny?
Yeah. Well, you could argue that also the shit that happens to her in Impact later could be more that also be caused by that.
Oh, well, I don't know. See,
she gets possessed by the darkness and shit.
Oh, well, that
also helps.
So Allie is feeling very humiliated by this. And she very much does not want Braxton to see this. And Laurel responds with, well, that sucks, because I invited Braxton, so he's gonna see you very much. And man, as we all know, wrestlers never watch replays of the show they're on, so Braxton would never have seen Allie in the costume.
It's true.
Doesn't see her backstage.
He would never have. She would have got away with it.
She would have gotten away with it if that weren't for that meddling Laurel and her inviting Braxton.
And then I'll admit, Braxton, I'm like, I wish he had been a little more hesitant about all this. He shows up and he's like, "Yeah, free food, let's go." Oh
my God, the himbo energy.
He's just having a big old smile on his face about all this.
He
does not give a shit.
He does not care. But Laurel's trying to play it up like this is some major humiliation for Allie.
Mm-hmm.
From fucking Mike Bennett. who
the miracle, Mike Bennett,
which Maria Kanellis only refers to him as the Miracle.
Yes.
Her husband, the Miracle.
Yes,
Absolutely. Great line from him on "I'm giving thanks, so please." So Maria's is like, let's go around the table and say we're all thankful for. She starts, and the crowd's booing.
She says her husband, and she says Laurel, and
everyone but Allie.
Everyone but Allie at this table.
Yeah. And then Mike gets the mic, and the crowd's like bigly booing him. So he just goes, "I'm giving thanks, so please shut your mouth." That's a top tier.
Great. And then
there.
I love, I pointed this out when we watched, and I loved it. Mike is after Maria immediately says Mike first. She opens with the miracle.
Yeah.
Mike is like, first I want to give thanks to all this delicious food.
One.
And I want to give thanks to my boy Tom Brady. And then he looks at his wife and he's like, I'm also my wife.
I got this bitch too.
Maria Kanellis Bennett.
Third on the list, he has his priorities straight. Who needs a wife when you got Tom Brady? That's what all the boys are saying.
It's true.
So I also yesterday I learned either way. Allie is a vegan. Which is that why she calls herself the bunny now? That makes sense. But anyway, we basically they're trying to push Allie over the fucking edge here.
Yeah, Laurel. What pushes her kind of over the limit here is because Allie tries to insert her thanks. She's like, I want to thank all the fans here in the Impact Zone. And Maria's like, shut up! No one wants to listen to you.
Yes.
And then Laurel gets the mic and is trying to flirt with Braxton Sutter. And she's like, hey, you know what they called me in college? Laurel Van Yes.
No.
It's because she's a slut who always says yes, whore. You see?
Because you're a whore.
It's honestly funny for how stupid that is. But anyway, her trying to flirt with Braxton is what pushes Allie over the edge.
And she says, Laurel, you're just a big fat meanie.
You're a meanie?
Unironically, her line.
Yeah, and then she's like, you made me cook all this food and none of it's vegan, so I can't have any of it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not taking this anymore. And she goes to grab a pie. Like Maria and Laurel go to yell at her.
Yeah.
And she grabs a pumpkin pie.
Mm-hmm.
Laurel is in between Maria and Allie. Allie goes to throw the pie. Laurel ducks out of it and hits Maria. In the face.
Yes, baby.
Maria loses it. Mike is a king for this segment.
Well, first I want to point out that upon seeing this, again, maximum himbo energy, Braxton Sutter is just totally soy-facing this. He's like, she got hit in the face with the pie. Yeah, Mike Bennett, ever tactful, tries to eat the pie.
Yeah, he goes up.
He does a little finger scoop, and then he just sticks out his tongue.
Like he's about to go lick his wife's face live on television.
Slaps him on the nose like a fucking dog.
And he's like, what?
And screams, ow! And now that we did that whole recap of the women's segment, we got a whole new women's segment for you.
Yeah, back-to-back promos.
So
Maria comes out with Laurel, and Sienna's there too, isn't she? Or was it just Laurel?
I'm pretty sure it was just Laurel and Maria.
Okay.
I'm pretty
sure.
So
Maria and Laurel come out.
Yes.
The crowd is chanting pie face at Maria.
Oh my god.
Bigly mad.
And okay, so at the top of this episode, we got like a little video recap that included the pie in the face thing. And then we got the whole video. And then when Maria and Laurel making their entrance, we cut again back to the pie in the face.
We got to recap so much shit.
Oh my god. But it's the third or fourth time. Also, I noticed Laurel, I think, is wearing the exact same dress in this as she was in the.
Listen, kayfabe. These
only have one dress.
Oh, it's because they filmed this. They've probably filmed these episodes back to back.
But Maria's wearing something different. I'm pretty sure.
Well, maybe Laurel only brought one dress to the taping.
They're like, Laurel, fuck you. You're
not getting pied. You're not getting pied. You don't have to wear more than one dress.
Oh my god. Costumes is like, who cares about this?
Yeah, so Maria goes, it's holiday season, and I guess that's true. It is Christmassy time.
It is, yeah.
And she is a very charitable person.
Absolutely.
She's given so much to everyone here. She's given a role model.
But
But
Baker.
some people
Oh,
don't seem to appreciate that.
you people.
No, she's talking about Allie. Allie,
You
get out
person,
here.
Allie.
Some people, Allie.
Yeah, Allie comes out. Oh my god, this fucking walk she does. She's got like this meek little walk.
Yeah, she's a little
like,
skitter.
she's
Yeah,
little skitter.
yeah. As
She
I
also
said,
does
she's
these, like,
very different from anything
oh
you
my
know
god,
of
I
her.
know. Her fucking like manically skipping to the ring. She's like waddling. Get these like meek little high fives to the crowd. Like, commentary for some reason. Josh Matthews must be big into the Zootopia fan art community because he likens her to Judy Hopps, which wait, no, that's why she's called the Bunny now, obviously.
Yeah.
But Allie, and she's got a grumpy face on. She looks so grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
You grumpy girl.
So Allie gets in the ring, and Maria tries to gaslight us all that we don't love Allie because nobody loves Allie.
Oh, you all hate Allie? Fuck this bitch.
Right?
Obviously.
Correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
And so Allie does apologize for hitting Miss Maria with a pie in the face last week.
Yeah. But it's just that Laurel made her so mad.
Mm-hmm.
It was something like that. Or like, I don't know. Basically, they basically start openly talking about this like Braxton Sutter love triangle thing. Again, it's a good thing that wrestlers never watch anything back, so Braxton would never see.
He's never seen any of this. He doesn't have no idea.
Weird ass drama about a love triangle with him that he may not even be fully aware of.
Now Braxton's not watching any of that. It's fine. Maria she's like, I know that you weren't trying to hit me with the pie. You were trying to hit Laurel because you're jealous of her and Braxton. And Allie is like, what? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And Maria then is like, and I didn't bring this up, but Maria basically at Bound for Glory tries to get out of a match with Gail, is being like, oh, but my hand is hurt. And Allie interrupts her and is like, but Miss Maria, I looked at the doctor's note and he said you're perfectly cleared.
We love Allie. I love Allie.
And Maria is like horrified and pissed off, and she has to fight Gail. So now she's like, Allie, I want to know why you lied about my hand being okay.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And Allie's like, well, I believe that honesty is the best policy.
Oh my god, this is some like cartoon shit. I love it.
And Maria's like, well, you want honesty. And Maria calls Allie the worst assistant she's ever had.
Well, you're fucking fired.
Yeah, and Maria and Laurel then pipes in and is like, I want to know she wants to know what Allie thinks about her and Braxton going on a hot date. They're going to be all up in each other, whispering sweet nothings.
And then doesn't Maria kind of like be like, she's not worth it? Or something
she's like, Allie is a loser.
Okay. She says she's a loser. She doesn't know how to fight. Man, for a hot second, she really emphasized the F in fight, and I thought she was going to use a different F word there for a second.
Listen, we're still on cable. She doesn't know how to do anything right. She's not a wrestler. She's just a stupid bitch.
And bitch slap.
And then Allie slaps the shit out of Maria.
God. And Laurel just fucking bounces on
Absolutely
her.
Tackles the hell out of her.
I'm so glad, Austin, that wrestlers will still only ever throw elbows and not punches at at people during segments that aren't remotely sanctioned matches.
Yeah. It's all they know. All they really know how to throw elbows.
You become a wrestler and you completely forget how to use your fists.
Yeah.
You're fully bald fist.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're 99% balled up, you then remember how to use them. But
All right. And now the time we've all been waiting for, I think.
Boy.
All right. Is Rosemary has a backstage promo.
All right. Go on.
I did. This is the one I was like, David, I'm gonna.
I saw Austin's process in real time. Go off, King. I'm grabbing a twist.
Okay. Jade, Gail's chosen one. You want to be the light in our all-consuming darkness? You want to make history? We make history every time we make someone decay. We survive the Great War. We thrive in environments. And I did not catch the rest of what she says. Where we should have blank. I couldn't catch. I tried. I couldn't understand her. My TV is not that loud.
That's unfortunate.
We are nature's cockroach that cannot be destroyed. But you can't, Jade. And tonight, in this cage, with all the world watching us and the hive watching over us, we will end your pathetic career and Gail's silly little crusade for a chosen one. Decay. Decay. Decay.
Man, half of this, I feel, you know, a little bit brain altered. So Austin and I just came back from a great part 1 of 2 of Barbenheimer weekend. You know,
hell yes.
As we do. Why does half of this all of a sudden sound like dialogue that could have come from Oppenheimer to me? Like, decay, the world is watching. We
make history.
We make history.
Every time we
Absolutely.
Make
So I am rating this one. I am become death out of 10.
No, I adore everything about Rosemary
no, this was
here.
Great. Austin, I wonder if I could sense any patterns in the wrestlers you really attach yourself to.
I already talked about how I love the spoopy wrestlers.
Does this sound like anyone else I can think of? The names on the tip of my tongue.
Rosemary would love to follow the buzzards if she wasn't already a cockroach.
Or join the House of Black, depending on, because either way, like I love how each of the major like Western companies gets their own version of this, of like that one motherfucker that shows up and cuts some creepy ass promo for a few years.
Yeah,
and has like a 3-person group of creepy motherfuckers. It just
Decay versus Wyatt's versus House of Black, a goated fantasy booked dream match.
My God, can you imagine? That would be sick.
Yeah, and do it in Monsters Ball.
I would love that.
But Rosemary, for this whole promo, she is like clinging from the cage.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
It was really good, and her delivery is great. Like that was actually top tier shit. I really appreciated it. So yeah, creepy promos, creepy. And now because Impact in 2016 does not know how to pace anything. Remember that whole DCC and Hardy's promo we got earlier? Well, yeah, now it's a match.
Yeah, we're doing the match, right? So it's the DCC, the Death Crew Council. I don't think I've ever said what their name is supposed to mean.
Idea.
No, it's the Death Crew Council.
The Death Pool Combat Club.
Right.
Yes.
That's that. You said it right.
Absolutely.
And the Hardy Boys. For the tag titles.
At least I get to watch Eddie wrestle, is what I typed at the beginning of this. And
then
I watched the match.
Well, right. So my first note is Eddie Kingston wearing the finest Roman Reigns knockoff gear.
Bro, oh my God. Eddie's out here doing his best Shield cosplay. You think he was in the running. You think he like made it to the final callbacks of Shield auditions, and that's where he met like John Moxley and they became BFFs. That's
a fun idea.
I'm gonna headcanon that now. Make some fanfic about that.
Yeah, so this match is
boy. I was excited. Because I do love me some Hardys.
This was a solid third best match on this show. Very firm third best. Out of 4.
Fuck, I didn't even think we got that many.
No, we had 4 matches. It's very third. It's like, maybe it's just because I don't care about any of these people. As like, I don't care about this feud. Maybe it's Grand X Division tag.
Oh my
knockouts.
I completely forgot about the X Division.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
We just talked about an X Division. Was a good match.
Oh no, the flippity shit just flipped right out of my mind.
But anyway, this maybe it's just because I don't care about this feud, so I don't really care about the emotional catharsis of it all.
Bro,
but it's so boring.
I feel like it was squandered too, because so the DCC gave Matt amnesia.
They did.
And then like
they beat him so bad he got amnesia.
And then
for a while,
he just faffs around on the Hardy compound with amnesia. And
while
then
Jeff Hardy kind of gets his ass handed to him in the Impact Zone every week.
He then gets struck by lightning and gets the memory back. What? Why? Emotionally, why? Like, what beat was what story beat was fulfilled?
That story beat was we ran out of jokes for the amnesia bit.
Oh my god! Oh,
that's what that's called.
Oh my god! Because like it could have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have built something there. Like narratively, you have something.
Him getting his memory back has nothing to do with the DCC. When they were the entire reason he lost it.
Yeah, exactly. You need to earn that back. And the narrative does not earn it.
No,
they're just like, fuck you. Here's the memory again.
It would have been cool. I think you could have worked it better if you hold this off for 2 more weeks. Because I already told this to David, is in 2 weeks they're gonna have total nonstop deletion, which is a episode of Impact filmed at the Hardy compound, and they do a lot more bits with the Hardy stuff specifically because like they're on the compound. They do stuff with King Maxwell and Senior Benjamin and all that. Like, have the memory thing come back during total nonstop deletion could have been pretty cool.
Oh my god! Like that is a whole episode right there. But no. Fuck you. He just gets struck by lightning. We gotta get this title match going. Oh my god.
It's like,
but like you still could have got like you could have had like his brother Nero, drag Matt's amnesiac ass back and try to get him to wrestle. Like,
it would have been cool to have one match with amnesiac Matt Hardy because his whole shtick was like, oh god, that's so violent and scary. I do that. That doesn't sound right.
It would have been some sports entertainment bullshit, but it would have built to something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
And like also like I don't know if the it's tough because it feels like the Hardys it feels like too early to just take the belts off the Hardy Boys. They just beat Decay for him. This is their first feud as champs.
Yeah.
And to see the future, they're going to quit Impact and go back to WWE at 2017's WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah. That's the big one where they have the surprise.
We're in the ladder match, correct. They come back as the Hardy Boys at WrestleMania 33, excuse me. So, like, their time in Impact is nearing the end. So you almost kind of want them to have more time with the belts than this. But you also, the DC look like complete and utter chumps.
Yeah, it's all stupid.
The way they played this out.
Yeah, it's worthless a little bit. But it's fine. Yeah, Matt is out here having the time of his life. Jeff is like, I got you, brother. And then poor DCC.
The match is just so uninteresting in ring as well. Like, even ignoring the story beat problems here, it's not fun action.
Well, because it's the Hardys dominant almost the entire time.
After they do a commercial break and like Bram and Eddie Kingston are in charge somehow, but otherwise it's mostly almost like an extended squash in many ways.
Poor Eddie is the one to eat most of it, which is flagrant disrespect of my boy. How fucking dare you? Also, I do have to point out on commentary, Josh Matthews is out here hawking the season's beating sale for the Impact store.
Yeah, Josh Matthews left his fucking ad reads for this show, for this match.
Oh my god. Yeah, so we have him hawking the season's beatings sale. And then 2 different network comedy shows.
For Pop TV, I didn't write them down. Fuck you, I'm not doing that.
He kind of faked me out on one of them because he said something about Impact fans rejoice. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like an Impact related thing. No, it's just another random ass TV show with I don't know, celebrity guest star. I don't fucking know.
Who cares?
Who gives a fuck? They didn't even advertise members of the Impact roster being on that show. It's just a thing. Nobody cares about this match.
Eventually, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy double team Eddie Kingston in the end to get the win.
Yeah. Dude, he cannot. Poor Eddie.
Eddie is the jobber of this group because he's the newcomer. Bram and Storm are both former Impact champions. So Eddie is the fall
But
guy
Eddie's
of this
an
group.
Established fucking name.
In Shikara, maybe.
Ah,
Not here.
God damn it. That's so unfortunate. Does he get like more of a anything in Impact?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
gonna take over LAX and he's gonna run over a kid with a car. He's
Yeah.
part of the feud that does
Oh,
that.
yeah,
I
that shit.
admit I don't remember if Eddie ran over the kid or if Conan did, but he's gonna take over LAX and there's gonna be like a LAX versus LAX fight because
Oh my God,
Eddie
that's so
Kingston takes
Wait,
over.
fucking Hernandez LAX?
Yeah, they
that
do. They do
LAX?
like Conan has Santana and Ortiz as
Oh,
the new
shit.
LAX,
Oh.
and Kingston brings back Homicide and Hernandez as the OG LAX, and they
that's sick.
beef
That's sick.
in
actually.
for most of 2018.
That's actually really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that oof. And then we cut backstage and Eli Drake is there and EC3 walks up. to
Well, not
him.
quite yet.
Oh, not quite yet.
They do a recap video of Gail giving up the title. She has
Okay.
this long running speech
Oh, yeah.
and talks about Jade. She didn't even get to give up the title yet because before she officially says I'm vacating,
Yeah.
Decay comes out and is like, we are had enough of this circle jerky bullshit.
And commentary's like, what was she gonna say? As if it wasn't.
Yeah, like she comes out in
Yes.
the dress and she's like, and she talks about how her long history and she brings out Jade to be like
2 weeks to retirement.
yeah, she 2 weeks to retirement's it, and she like it's so obvious where this was leading.
Yeah,
and the next
exactly.
week she officially vacates. But Decay whoops the ass of Jade and Gail Kim. They give Jade a promo video of her like training Muay Thai in the gym, being like, "I'm not afraid of you, Rosemary." And it's like, well, you will be, pal. Don't you worry about that.
Bitch. Oh, Austin was so in the tank against Jade.
Yeah, fuck Jade.
Oh,
Fuck
man
her.
My man was not feeling the Jade. It was hilarious.
It's all about Rosemary, pal. And then we
Oh,
get the recap of EC3 beating Eli Drake for his voice. And yeah, backstage, Eli Drake is just listening to some music, minding his own goddamn business.
Yeah.
And EC3 comes up to him and he's like, hey, what are you listening to? The Sound of Silence?
Eli Drake starts to talk and EC3 just goes up.
Yeah, because EC3 is like, next week is my title match. And when I win it, Eli Drake, you can get your title match with me. All you got to do is say the word.
What word?
He can't talk.
Oh.
So he's just say the word and you get a title match.
Oh, okay.
Eli's just is standing there fuming, but he doesn't actually say. He doesn't say anything.
I wonder if EC3 also like forces Eli Drake not to talk even when they're fully off the air. Like he's just got a permanent jinx on him,
Yeah, you can't talk for the whole rest of for the next month. You can't talk till 2017.
Cannot talk at all.
Yeah, you can't say a word.
The Eli Drake is being followed back to his fucking like house.
Yeah,
and EC3's like.
EC3 is about to turn heel again. So
is he not already?
No, he is the babyface of the feud with Eli Drake.
Eli Drake is. It baffles me when they try to make him a heel because he's so.
Eli, dummy. Yeah,
he is
the heel.
He is eternally over. It's so funny whenever people try to make him a heel. Anyway.
The feud I didn't even remember to talk about. The Tribunal betrayed their coach Al fucking Snow.
Al Snow is here.
So Al Snow and Malabali Shira are facing off with the Tribunal, and I don't give a shit, and neither do you.
Dude, Al Snow opens his mouth to cut a promo, and I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah. All I can think of is
the most generic ass.
All I think of is the Deadlock bit where The Rock makes fun of Al Snow when in the WWF. Mick Foley talks about Mankind is talking to The Rock about how his partner tonight is going to be Al Snow, and The Rock is like, Al, you want I am the most electrifying man in all sports entertainment. Is going to tag team with a man named Al.
Yep, I remember that.
Al. That's all I think about when I see Al Snow's stupid face.
Yeah, fuck that guy. So it's at this point that Austin points out to me that the reason I know EC, that I swear to God, I've heard EC3's name before in like some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at this point that Austin points out to me, oh yeah, the reason for that is because this is the motherfucker that founded Control Your Narrative.
Yes. He doesn't go nuts until after his next WWE run.
Well, that would be enough to send anybody down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
but
so
because he gets in the ring, and I make a comment to David, he's about to control his narrative.
Yeah, I've said a lot of words in my time in pro wrestling. I'll probably say a lot more. Yeah, specifically in a weird locked soundproof room that protects you from cancellation or whatever the fuck.
Or whatever your gimmick is.
Whatever the fuck CYN's deal was. It was something like that.
So he is like, he suffered the biggest defeat of his career at Bound for Glory when he lost to Lashley in the main event for the title. But he says that I am your perennial number one contender. And again, reminder that he is kayfabe the cousin. He is the kayfabe nephew of the former owner of the company. So that's entitled little rich kid ass.
Yeah.
But he brings out Eddie Edwards because he wants to talk to him.
And they're buddies, I think.
They're both baby faces, so they're friendly with each other.
Neither of them read as baby faces to me. They were both giving off big heel energy.
Really?
I have to say, even Eddie. Also, Eddie Edwards looks way different than what I expected of him, because you described that Eddie Edwards beat Bobby Lashley for this title in what was a major upset.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was told, beat Bobby Lashley in a surprise major upset, I was imagining Mikey Whipwreck 2.0.
Sure.
I was not expecting conventionally handsome buff dude.
Regular indie guy.
Regular ass guy.
That's honestly my biggest critique of Eddie Edwards in general is he is such a regular ass guy.
He's so normal.
He is going to get better Impact. They're going to run a whole gimmick with him where he has a feud with Sami Callihan. He becomes obsessed with violence and trying to beat Sami Callihan with a cane. And he's going to get a lot cooler and more interesting as a character.
So the Tommy Dreamer arc.
He goes tough. Tommy Dreamer is even there to tell him, dude, don't go down this path. And
God.
Eddie is like, no, I'm going down this path.
I love it. I love them leaning into that.
Yeah, it's great.
They acknowledge. So
but for now, he is just generic as fuck.
He's he comes to the ring and says, "Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful weather we're having."
Yeah, so EC3 just says some rigmarole about how he wants Eddie to bring that fire next week because it will take Eddie's bring that fire next week. It's gonna take someone special to beat me, and EC3's like, you got the attitude to keep this title, which is a weird thing to say because Eddie has already defended this title 3 times.
Yeah,
he gives this speech about there's a difference between winning the title and keeping the title. It takes different mindsets. And it's Eddie has always successfully defended the belt 3 times against Cody Rhodes, Bobby Lashley again, and Eli Drake. So I think Eddie already kind of knows what it takes to keep the title.
Bro, I already understand this. By the way, what do you think of how the Stark Market's been doing recently?
Yeah. So Eddie gives EC3 shit about the family name thing. EC3's doesn't matter, and nothing matters but the title. And EC3 is I'm not afraid to stab a friend in the back, to slit a throat, to get what I want.
Oh yeah. Yeah, again, totally face, guys.
Yeah, very babyface mentality to say that.
That was the thing. I was like, what the fuck is going on with the alignments here? Who is what and why?
Yeah, but EC3, he's like, I'll leave you with this. Kill them all and let God sort them out. That's a champion's mentality.
Well, that was unfortunate.
What?
Anyway,
the fuck ever.
I gotta go do
dude.
my taxes.
Eddie is about to go beat EC3's stupid ass.
And then do his taxes.
Yes. Eddie will lose the belt back to Lashley in January. That's how this ends. So EC3 can go to hell.
EC3 can go to hell and die, but also Eddie Edwards too.
Yeah.
Until he goes down the Tommy.
And then we cut. They show both women walking to the ring, except it's Jade going through the hallway and Rosemary crawling down the stairs from the rafter.
Extremely normal follow shot of Jade, and then Rosemary is just on all fours, crawling down the stairs as creepily as possible. That's a choice.
She's hella committed to this.
She's so So very committed. We get another earlier tonight segment for the fucking EC3 and Eddie Edwards promo
that just aired.
Happened
Oh my
before
god!
the commercial break. Why? Okay. So yes. Main event time. Knockouts championship. Gail Kim is just chilling at ringside.
She's here to give up the belt and then just here to watch.
That is a very good idea, TM, Gail Kim, to just sit there unprotected in a match with Rosemary.
Josh Matthews brings his fucking wife to commentary.
I did not notice that.
Madison Rayne was on commentary.
Is married to Josh Matthews.
Correct.
Okay, I did notice Madison Rayne. Fuck. Oh, boy. Also, I noticed during Jade's entrance, the cute little like song credits for the theme songs in the bottom left.
Yeah, because so and this is so weird to me because I'm used to Decay will have their own theme left behind, like an original song written for them to do an entrance for.
Okay,
but originally they come out to a licensed track, "The Nobodies" by Marilyn Manson.
Usually, you go from original songs to licensed tracks, not the other way around.
I wonder if the change from Billy Corgan to Anthem Sports had anything to do with that transition. I wonder if that changed. I wonder if that changed the math on the economics of that.
That might explain a lot.
But Rosemary comes out to all of Decay comes out to the Nobodies by Marilyn Manson.
Okay.
Right now, and so they have the screen credits down there, so as if legally required to tell you whose song this is.
Man, look, it feels like I said, feels very MTV of them. Anything to make them to let them pretend like they're not pop TV.
Yeah, right.
Anyway. So Rosemary makes her entrance.
I was expecting to have more lines to say from the Pope, the color commentator of this show,
and I was very confused because I had no idea who the fuck that was.
Yeah, he was a wrestler for a while there in Impact and WWE. Mid card guy, never got too much success, but I mean, talented enough dude. And then he became a commentator for a few years there. But anyway, the Pope says if Rosemary is the future of the Knockouts division, because they're really selling this match as like, what will the future of the Knockouts division be represented by? And he's like, this is the future. Rosemary's the future of the Knockouts division. It's going to be scary as hell.
Thank you, Pope. Thank you, Pope. Very cool. Very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So the two women have made their entrances. Talking about scary as hell, bit of a jump scare. This match is being wrecked by TNA Hall of Famer Mr. Earl Hebner.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing here?
Yeah, he got a referee job with TNA after he got fired or left WWE. I don't know.
Did he attain Hall of Fame status in TNA before he attained it in the WWE?
Is he even in the Hall of Fame in WWE?
No way.
I'm pretty sure WWE has never elected a referee to the Hall of Fame.
Well, because I swear to God, because I thought I saw something about like next year is going to be the first ever ref in the Hall of Fame, but I'm like, no fucking way, because Earl Hebner exists. No way.
No, right? He's never been inducted.
What the fuck?
All right, just to be clear of the TNA Hall of Fame, by the way.
Okay.
In 2012, it was Sting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In 2013, they inducted Kurt Angle.
Oh,
Call me Kurt Angle.
Yeah, that would also.
In 2015, they inducted My World, Jeff Jarrett.
Oh yeah.
Slapnuts and Earl Hebner. He was the senior referee for TNA from 2006 to 2017.
What the fuck, Earl? What are you doing here?
He's in AEW now. So.
Is he?
Yeah.
What? No, he's not. That's a fucking lie.
In 2019.
You're lying to me right now.
I mean, maybe,
now.
Okay. Oh, you know what? He left in 2021. And then he came back to Impact to do a thing for Slammiversary.
What the fuck?
Last year.
Officiated for AEW. What the
He did a few select AEW events at the beginning of their time.
He officiated a limited number, primarily pay-per-view selected episodes. Went on a 1-year officiating hiatus when he returned to Impact.
Anyway, 2016, Gail Kim, we've been talking about it.
Yes.
2018, Abyss was inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame.
Yeah, probably fair.
In 2020 was Ken Shamrock.
Oh, boy. Damn, him and Al Snow are here.
2021, Awesome Kong.
Base,
and 2022 was Raven.
Fair enough.
And 2014 had Team 3D, aka the Dudley Boys.
That would also make a lot of sense.
Yeah. No Scott Steiner, that's bullshit.
Oh my god!
Frankly.
Wait, hold the fuck up.
I mean, I know they only do like one person a year, but
Dudley's beat Sting and Jarrett to the punch on that. That's fucking
no, they
funny.
beat Jarrett, but Sting came first. It goes Sting, Angle, Team 3D, Jarrett.
Okay. Damn, that would have been really funny if the Dudleys were the fucking Bubba Ray. Anyway.
Anywho, back to this though. Also,
yes.
A cute thing is Jade. When Jade makes her entrance, Josh Matthews says she's no longer a doll in the playhouse, which I thought was cute because before her gimmick was "Am Gail's chosen favorite. I do Muay Thai." She was in a stable called the Dollhouse.
Sure.
In Impact. So I was like,
Sure.
hey!
I see they're big fans of Joss Whedon programming on TV.
Yes, that's it.
That's it, obviously.
That's what they were fan. They just love Dollhouse.
They just love Dollhouse, good, more power to them. So notably, the match starts, and Rosemary immediately takes this cage match, outside
yeah,
of the
so
cage.
Jeremy Borash does the ring entrances, and he's leaving, so the door of the cage is open. Rosemary just tackles Jade out of the cage.
And just beats her up out there for a solid couple of minutes.
Yep, she grabs a trash can from under the ring.
Yes.
We got bits to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then we get back in the ring, and Jade takes over a lot of this early match with her Muay Thai kicking.
Does she? I feel like Rosemary was in control for a decent
I have a ton of notes of Jade just kicking ass.
Rosemary dominated first because she got the drop on
right,
her, with the trash can.
But then back in
Jade
the ring, all
get
things
it,
equal, Jade is the striker.
Yeah.
As
she's landing those strikes on Rosemary, I couldn't help but commentary providing the very expert analysis of with each strike. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, damn. I didn't know I could do Impact commentary. God damn, that's exactly what I do when I'm fucking watching it.
Yeah.
Put me on that goddamn mic.
Yeah, I feel like an underrated element of Rosemary's ability to stay relevant when so many of these kinds of acts just fade away into nothingness. And admittedly, part of it is because Impact is totally committed to letting her do whatever the fuck she wants.
Which based.
But also, a lot of supernatural gimmicks kind of require a certain kind of protection in the booking, like Bray Wyatt, House of Black, Undertaker. They all are we can't give too much. We got to maintain the spoopy aura.
Agreed.
Rosemary has never been like that. In ring, Rosemary wrestles a lot like a normal wrestler. She's not doing gimmicks. She's not no-selling everything. She's a dominant wrestler, especially as champ, but she's never been boringly invincible as an in-ring wrestler.
Like that, because she is a normal person. She's
possessed by a demon.
Yeah, right. I don't hate that. Also, okay, I could be way off base here. Mm-hmm. Help me out here because you're way more versed in Impact lore and people than I am. Is it just me, or does Jade still read as a little green here? Because the main thing for me is a lot of her blows seem to be delivered little too soft and slow, she's pulling her punches because she doesn't know how to do them without overdoing them. So she instead
a little bit. She's pretty early in her career overall here. I'm looking at her thing now. She debuted in 2009. She really just kind of works. Just working the whatever indies you can get for 7 years. That's still pretty young into it, especially. This is her first real time. This Impact run starting in 2015 is her first time in a major company in any way.
Yeah. Well, I want to emphasize she's not bad.
Right.
There were just things I'm that strike.
Plus, I don't really know what her gimmick was on the indies. So being a gimmick of look how much I do Muay Thai could be newer to her and wrestling. Okay, I got to do all these kicks.
Yeah,
got to do so many kicks because that's the gimmick.
And she's pulling it so she doesn't hurt her.
Actually, hurt. That's also another problem that comes if you see it in wrestlers who transition from real combat sports. Is a lot of them will sometimes pull their punches too much because they're so used to they recognize how much they could hurt somebody if they actually tried. It's why Ronda Rousey's strikes kind of suck a lot, is because she's having to hold herself back, and it's hard to know how much to hold yourself back when, especially coming from like combat sports, the whole gimmick is you don't hold back at all.
Yeah.
Like you're going for as hard as you can do without hurting yourself. And now the gimmick is you got to pull it and make it, but keep it looking real. And that's a hard thing to do. And so that could also be part of it is that Jade could still be trying to kind of figure out like how to do these kicks in a way that's not going to actually hurt somebody.
Yeah, okay. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, however, I'm going to make you very happy. I immediately get the appeal of Rosemary.
Yes! Yes!
Not only is she great on mic, but in ring,
she's pretty good.
She fucking rules.
Mm-hmm.
Her, like where I saw Jade struggling is like Rosemary just, everything was
Mm-hmm.
on the fucking point. She was a showcase to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Great like strike proficiency, nice little bits of acrobatics. She's got a quickness to her. She's got a toughness to her. I really, really liked her.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed, legitimately. So there's that.
Yes,
brother. We are Rosemary. In fact,
Indeed.
You and I both.
I am part of of Rosemary's hive.
You know what? I'll hop on too. It seems like a fun time in there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So so Jade remains in control for a while, and then she goes up to the top of the.
What a mistake!
Oh boy, howdy! So the first time she goes up to the top of the cage, crashes down on Rosemary.
She does a top rope crossbody, but she does not.
Yeah, which was sick.
Crazy
was sick
shit. But she can't take advantage.
Yeah, she does. She doesn't take advantage, and Rosemary kind of quickly recovers.
Yeah,
so
I will also
kind of the cool the cool supernatural booking where it's like she has her moments of like that.
They didn't do the fun. They didn't do the fun spot that Rosemary does. And maybe I haven't watched a ton of her matches from when she's like heel Decay manager because she also doesn't have very many. But they didn't do one of my favorite spots she does where she like lays on her bed. She's like down on her back and she like pushes her body upwards like zombie style.
That's fucked.
Like it's like really fucking cool.
That's horrifying.
Oh, I wish she had done that with this
shit.
cross body. It's like the Undertaker sit up, but it's more like instead of like corpse pose, it's like rising zombie rise from the grave or something. I will say a funny bit earlier in the match than where we're at here is Rosemary is in the corner and Jade is like going to do a running hitter on her in the corner. Rosemary gets out of the corner and like teases she's gonna miss her and she makes Jade flinch.
Oh, that's funny.
She faked her out with a mist.
Oh, I didn't catch that, but that rules. Holy shit. Oh my god, I love that.
That's how Rosemary kind of got back in control of the match for a second there as she made Jade flinch.
Yeah. Well, part of that too is so Jade hits that crossbody. She can't capitalize. Rosemary kicks out. And then, Jade goes to climb the rope or climb the cage a second time. And Rosemary's like, all right, I got your number this time.
Misses her ass.
And then actually missed her. So I missed the fake out flinch, but I did get the actual miss. Rosemary. So Rosemary hits the mist of transformation, which
they tried to sell this gimmick that she's wearing yellow both in her face paint and in her mist because that's this color of change and transformation.
So is this gonna like do anything to Jade's
gimmick? No, Jade's gonna still be like this.
Okay.
Listen, she doesn't as much as her gimmick is decaying people, she also doesn't do like mist-based transformations like
they call it the mist of transformation.
Then Rosemary hits her finisher, which is an F5.
Which
it is the F5, and she calls it the Red Wedding.
That's where the Red Wedding comment came from.
Yeah, that's her finish.
Because I noticed that on commentary. Topical reference.
Oh, hell yeah, it is.
Sidebar. I was working the pool the other day, and there was a motherfucker in the pool who was like teaching his girlfriend how to do the F5. It was
hell yeah.
It was.
She gotta learn. She gotta learn how to bump, brother.
She gotta into the pool. Very. I thought that was funny. Like he was running through the whole sequence and then had her like try it on him. It was
That's amazing.
Very funny. We love us some diverticulitis around here.
Hell yeah.
And then of course, Rosemary gets the pin. New Knockouts champion.
Yes. What else?
Sick. And she taunts Gail from the cage in the creepiest manner she can.
Yeah. So she gets in front of the cage with the belt. First, she licks the belt, and then she grits on the cage and gawks at Gail Kim.
Gail
and
Kim
then
is
I am not happy here. My biggest criticism of this match is they kept cutting to Gail Kim sitting there doing nothing.
She did stand up
Oh, you're right. She stood up once.
She stood up. No, it's very important.
But then they end the show with Josh Matthews going, "The age of shadow prevails. The hive wins," as Rosemary is half climbed the cage with the belt. Holding the belt.
Yeah, it was awesome. That was a great finishing image.
But yeah, I had thoughts about what Rosemary episode to do. The episode with Allie, but I kind of wanted to do see the heel Rosemary as short of a time as she had as a heel. That was kind of her original gimmick there. Her match with her Monsters Ball match with Taya Valkyrie is probably my favorite Rosemary match. So I thought about that. Something to do with her bullshit with Su Yung. The Undead Bride.
Oh, okay.
Su Yung.
That whole thing, yeah.
That's when it gets real cartoony, supernatural. To be honest, as I loved it, but that was for some people. I was like, all right, we have jumped the shark on this one.
That's fair.
But I decided, if we were going to do the first episode of Rosemary, it had to be at the one time she wins the title.
I do appreciate that. It was cool to see. Mm-hmm. The rest of this episode was
it was fine.
It was fine. It had its moments.
The feuds I cared about, I had fun with. The feuds I don't.
Yeah, but that main event was worth the price of admission alone. 100%. That overall was sick. Great match between the two of them. I thought the X Division stuff was fun too. I do love my flippity do spot fest arenas. But that match specifically, again, I get it. I really do. Rosemary's sick. I can't deny. I wasn't skeptical of that fact going in, but it felt very proven by watching. That was awesome. Yep. Sick stuff, man.
Right. So that's our time here in TNA.
Hell yeah.
We are back. Well, I'm sure we'll be back again some other time as we just keep watching random TNA episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only way we're engaging with TNA on here.
We should do a storyline. We should do a storyline.
Fuck you. Only random TNA episodes. That's how we do.
There's a few that I would like to do, but that's for another time.
Indeed.
Next time, we are back in 2014.
Oh.
It is time. We are so close to WrestleMania.
Point to the yes, boy.
To the yes. As we are on one of the last Raws before Mania. But Daniel Bryan has gotten his match at Mania.
Yes.
It has been confirmed. And the stipulation. The yes movement worked. The Occupy Raw movement worked.
Occupy Raw, baby.
Daniel Bryan will face Triple H at Mania, and if he wins, he's in the main event for the title.
Oh, shit. Oh, my.
Can Daniel Bryan beat all of Evolution in one night?
Nah, fuck you.
I guess we'll see as they're...
Oh, shit, that is all of Evolution, isn't it?
It's everyone but Flair, who's not a wrestler in 2014 anymore.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I didn't think of that, but that's...
Triple H, Orton, Batista, Flair was Evolution.
Shit, I didn't even know Flair was associated with that.
Yeah, he was more a manager by that point. I mean, he won the tag belts with Batista just because, but, he was more manager than wrestler by the time Evolution happened.
That's right. Anyway, that's cool shit.
It's for next time. Until then, David, hit the plugs.
Yes, sir. Dear friends, thank you all so much for joining us on yet another episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast. We are so delighted to have you here. First of all, returning listeners, viewers, what have you, you know the drill. Thank you so much for once again welcoming us back into your eardrums, your eyeballs, whatever it is you use to consume our content. We hope you've, as always, had a great time. New people, hey, hi, how's it going? Welcome to the show. We here at the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast like to think we are friendly to both noobs and knockouts alike. So whether you're brand new to the wild, wacky world of wrestling or you're a veteran of all the weird bullshit Either way, we hope you've had a great time here. We hope things feel nice and welcoming and accessible to you here. We hope you want to keep coming back and having a great time with us week after week after week. And I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do that. First and foremost, my friends, you can find us on YouTube. We are the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on YouTube. Hit subscribe, ring that bell, make sure it turns a nice little solid color so you get notifications every single time we drop a brand new episode. Give us that sweet engagement if you'd be so kind. Check out all of our playlists. Austin has been kind enough to organize all of the arcs that we follow into their own separate playlists so you can follow something all the way down without having to skip around a whole lot. It's great. If you're a fan, of course, and you know, naturally too, you get to see our beautiful faces and the fact that we're on the same height.
Just this once, we're in the same room.
What the once of 3 times? It's gonna we get our one a year. Austin.
That's true.
It's a very special occasion. So you can see proof of that if you watch on YouTube, of course. But of course, if you're a fan of the audio only experience, we have you covered there as well. You can find us on 3 of the best places to find your podcast, which of course are Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Come check us out there, listen to our show, download our show. If you'd be so kind, maybe leave us a nice little 5-star rating and a review that says, hey, these guys are pretty cool. Maybe more people should be listening to them. I don't know. I'm just saying off the top of my head. Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Check us out there for all your audio podcast needs. Of course, we exist outside of this void that we find ourselves in week after week. We have surprisingly lives outside of it, identities outside of it. You can find our social media presence out in the ether as well. Of course, the first and foremost of that is our Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at Noobs and Knox Pod. That's at Noobs, the letter N, Knox Pod on Twitter. Come check us out there. We do the whole Twitter thing, memes, discourse, whatever the fuck else. We put up a post every single time we drop a brand new episode, so you guys always know what the hell's going on. The highlight of our Twitter, of course, is weekly wrestling live tweeting. Kind of a nice little split responsibility between Austin and me. First and foremost, every Wednesday night, or at least most Wednesday nights, at 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS, we are watching, of course, AEW Dynamite and tweeting all about that shit. On top of that, when we get the chance, when I get the chance, because I am an AEW purist around here. My household is an AEW household, pal. On Friday nights, when we get the chance, when Austin and I are not, playing GM mode. Based women's only division.
David cheating me out of a win in season 1. That's what he fucking did.
Sounds like some loser talk, buddy. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. On Friday night, sometimes we are watching on TNT AEW Rampage. It is the show that y'all been waiting on at 10 p.m. Eastern. And then on Saturday nights, when we get the chance, not tonight, we have obligations tonight. When I get the chance on TNT as well at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are watching AEW Collision because Saturday night is all right for fighting. So I like to talk to the Twitter sphere all about that stuff. Come interact with me. It's a great time. It's lonely. Please, I just need some friendship. On top of that, Austin, being the knockout that he is very diligent about following the entire North American wrestling scene, the 3 major companies, anyway, telling you guys all about what the hell's going on there, and sometimes even tweeting about it. So for a whole host of reasons, we like to keep you guys updated. My friend, what is on the docket coming up?
It's me. Hi, it's my turn. It's me.
Are you the problem?
Usually. Of course, it's also Marina Shafir, actually, is usually the problem.
This is true. Many people are saying
that. All right, so upcoming. Let's start with the WW and also E.
No way.
The World Wrestling Entertainment.
Is there a third W in there?
There used to be.
Oh shit. That's kind of fucking wild.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked up, man.
But so for upcoming in a couple of weeks on August 5th in Detroit, Michigan, is SummerSlam.
Oh, damn.
And so there's a few matches on that card already. We're going to talk more about matches next time because I just checked and SummerSlam is not next weekend.
It is 2 weekends.
It's 2 weeks.
They are indeed slamming in the summer.
Yeah, so if you want to watch WWE on a regular basis, so you got Raw.
Why?
On,
I'm sorry, that was mean of me.
Yes, it was. So on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern on USA Network is Monday Night Raw. And Fridays on Fox at 8 p.m. is SmackDown.
Indeed.
And then SummerSlam, you can watch that on Peacock, WWE's streaming service partner person where they license
yeah.
they license the content.
Yes.
That's available live
a good
on
old
Peacock.
play.
On the plays. So then for Impact Wrestling, we've already talked about how you can watch them. You got to check out Access TV
or YouTube.
Or YouTube with a $1 subscription to the YouTube channel.
It's real affordable.
Yes, it is. But Thursdays at 8 or Thursdays at 8:30 on YouTube. Upcoming for them, they got 2 big shows coming up here. On August 20th is Multiverse United 2, For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Oh,
it's
wow.
there. It's Impact's cross-promotion show with New Japan Pro
and
Wrestling.
Also with Ernest Hemingway?
That's just the tagline.
Oh.
But it's Impact and it's New Japan.
Damn. And also Ernest Hemingway.
Hiroshi Tanahashi has confirmed he will be there.
And he's going to fight Ernest Hemingway.
That's right. He's about the only I bet that match should be pretty safe for him.
You know, they're going to have a poetry slam, actually.
It's probably for the best.
For the best, you know.
Most fascinating thing about this is this show will be taking place at 2300 Arena, the world's most famous bingo hall, because it was the home of ECW.
Oh shit!
That's where most ECW shows happen. Is in the 2300?
That like fucking ballroom?
The 2300 Arena.
That's what that is.
Well, there's the Hammerstein Ballroom,
I'm
which is
Hammerstein.
That's where they did a lot of big shows, and that's that imagery, right? But the 2300 Arena is where like all their shows were. With like when we did ECW shows on the podcast, that's where they did that.
That rules.
And then on August 27th, Impact Plus, we talked a lot about that in the front half about how you could watch the 2016 Impacts. Is Impact Plus, they have a lot of exclusive monthly shows, kind of the equivalent of B-level pay-per-views in the WWE. And that show on August 27th will be Emergence. But also on August 27th is in the AEW land. They're having a little show, called All In. It's happening at Wembley Stadium. You might have heard of that.
Some jabroni,
some bingo hall known as Wembley Stadium.
Wembla, something.
Yeah, how can we watch that show? We don't know yet.
No fucking clue.
Little bit
as good as mine.
Little late getting to this, aren't we?
Taking bets.
And then the next weekend in Chicago, because of course it's in fucking Chicago. It's All Out live on pay-per-view.
It's all out of everywhere in the U.S. but Chicago.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't realize Luchasaurus and Darby is lasting to All Out. Okay.
Fuck yeah, brother.
All right. So that is what is upcoming on the docket.
Hell
for
yeah.
the big wrestling companies.
We just love to tell all y'all about that again, especially for the noobs in the audience who might be, wrestle curious, if you will. Just keep you guys updated, especially about the pay-per-views. Those are great jumping on points for a first-time watcher. You're bound to get some really good matches on that show. A lot of storylines are wrapping up. New storylines are starting up. A lot of good stuff to be found there. And, so we just like to keep you guys informed again. Create a nice, accessible environment to everybody involved. So be sure to check all of that out and check all of us out on the Twitter as well. If you, for some reason, enjoy listening to Jesus, Austin and I ramble about wrestling for multiple hours on end every week, you'll like it over on the Twitter. It's basically the same shit, just in tweet form. So be sure to check all that out at Noobs and Knockouts Pod on Twitter. If you want to get in more long-form contact with us, because, Twitter's got that whole character limit doodad, you can email us at noobsandknockoutspod@gmail.com. That's noobs, the word, and this time knockoutspod@gmail.com. Come say hi to us there. Tell us what you think about the show. Request things you want to see us cover on the show. Just tell us our hot takes are based in red pilled or stupid and blue pilled, whatever the fuck. Start discourse, say hi. We love people saying hi. We would love to say hi back. Noobs and knockoutspod@gmail.com. Of course, finally, you can also find us on Patreon. We are also the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon. This is true. $1 a month, just a single little bone, gets you early access to episodes and a shout out at the end of each episode. Shout out, of course, to friend of the show, our boy, the Sugar Daddy, Kyle Smith, for all of his support. Enjoy your perks, buddy. We know you do. If you want to enjoy your perks along with our boy Kyle, you can donate just a single little $1 due to us on the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon and get all that nice shit. The link for that is in our Twitter bio.
See you all next time.
Hasta luego.